All of us on the Tar Heel Sports Network join you tonight from Charlotte with heavy hearts. We continue to struggle with and try and process the devastating news from earlier this week that former Carolina great, our broadcast partner, and our friend, Eric Montross, passed away after a battle with cancer at the way too young age of 52. Eric was an accomplished basketball player. He was an All-America at Carolina, was a key cog in the 1993 national championship team in Chapel Hill, and went on to a long and successful career in the NBA. But to limit his legacy to just his ability and accomplishments on the court would be a disservice. Eric was as genuinely good as one can be. Philanthropic, selfless, kind. Even though he was a legitimate 7 feet tall, or 6'12", as he liked to joke, he was never too big for anyone. He always had time for others. Time for one more picture, time for one more autograph. And he made it his life mission to positively affect as many people as possible, with a particular focus on helping sick children. It will be hard to do the game tonight. We miss Eric. We ache for his family, particularly his wife Laura, his son Andrew, and his daughter Sarah. And we love him and them very much. But Eric also had a passion for Carolina basketball. He believed in the lessons it taught and the community it built. And it is the Tar Heels that bring us to Charlotte tonight. So, big fella, this one's for you. The Tar Heel Sports Network's coverage of the fourth meeting between Oklahoma and Carolina starts after this from Learfield.
Born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. And where that foghorn blows, I will be coming home. Yeah, when the foghorn blows, I wanna hear it.
This is Carolina basketball on the Tar Heel Sports Network, and you're listening to the Reed's Jewelers pregame show. Carolina basketball is brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, the official pizza of Carolina Athletics. This is the Reed's Jewelers pregame show.
Coming your way from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Tar Heel Sports Network is indeed on the air as we get you ready for the fourth meeting between Carolina and Oklahoma. This is the Reed's Jewelers pregame show, brought to you by Reed's Jewelers, your home For fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. Reed's Jewelers, trusted with life's moments. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers or Reed's.com. Obviously, there's a big game tonight for Carolina, a game that the Tar Heels feel like they need to win against a really good opponent in Oklahoma, and we will talk about Carolina against the Sooners coming up in just a little bit. I'm Jones Angel. I'm joined here in Charlotte by Adam Lucas and Tyler Zeller. Ben Alexander is our chief network engineer. Dave Nathan, John Essick, both in our Tar Heel Sports Network studios. And as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, we come to you tonight with heavy hearts as we lost our friend Eric Montross this past weekend. And Adam, I'm not sure how we're going to get through this segment, but we will. And we wanted to start the broadcast tonight just talking about Eric. And as I said there at the beginning, he's a terrific basketball player, but he was so much more than that. And, gosh, we were lucky to know him for as long as we did.
I love sitting next to Tyler, but I sure miss Eric being here.
Z, I know you have a different relationship with Eric as a former player, part of that Carolina basketball family, and I know you and Eric got particularly close here over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think obviously I got to know Eric while I was here. He's 7 foot. He's a big presence. It's hard to miss him, but I always loved talking to him. When I was in college, just being able to say hi and get those couple minutes with him was so valuable, and very rarely was it about basketball. How you doing? What can he help with? All that, and I've gotten very close with him the last about 5 years, and we had a lot of similar interests. But very rarely did we talk basketball. He's a great human who gave his time, his energy, and just somebody who made you feel good every time you talk to him. And he's an extremely special person, and I told my wife the other day that, when we all pass, I think the response Eric got of all the memories and the good things that he did in his life and just the impact he had on every person's life. When we all pass, that's how we hope to be remembered. And I think Eric always will be, because he spent every moment of every day trying to make somebody's life better and impact them in a positive way.
And Adam, I think that's, and we're going to continue to remember Eric, not just today, but moving forward for the rest of this season and forever. But the message that I think is important for people to know, Eric was a terrific basketball player, and he was great on the air, but he was so much more than that. And as Tyler said, his impact is felt in our community and in the state of North Carolina. I mean, just so much more than just what he did on the floor.
There was a letter from Coach Smith in his personal papers that are in the library at Carolina, and he wrote it to Eric's parents, I think after Eric graduated, and Coach Smith wrote, "We all here were surely fortunate that Eric chose Chapel Hill for his college experience." And, I mean, certainly because the Tar Heels won a national championship, which was great. But we've gotten so much more than that out of it since then, and the community has gotten so much out of it, and the Children's Hospital has gotten so much out of it, and just the people of Chapel Hill have gotten so much out of it. And I think we've seen that the last couple days with all the people who have reached out and all the people who have been emailing us and tweeting us and telling their favorite Eric stories, some of which, believe it or not, even during this segment, are really funny. And one day I'm going to be ready to hear those, because he was really funny. But as usual, no surprise, Coach Smith about 30 years ahead of his time with that letter, because we are all so fortunate that somebody who could have gone anywhere and would have had this impact at any school in the nation had it at North Carolina.
There will be details of things to figure out in the future, and there will be events, and there will be ways to honor Eric. I think Carolina particularly has that game on December 29th when the Tar Heels return to the Smith Center to face Charleston Southern. They're going to make sure to honor Eric that evening before the game. There will be a moment of silence here in Charlotte tonight before this game as well, and all those details and dates and things like that will come out in the future. But for tonight, our thoughts are 100% with Laura and Andrew and Sarah and the rest of Eric's family. All right, we're going to get ourselves together, take a break, and when we get back, we will focus in on the game. And it's an important one tonight for Carolina. And Eric loved Carolina basketball, and we're here to talk about the Tar Heels. So we're going to get you ready for Carolina, Oklahoma. When we return, Dave will grab the reins of the pregame show, and we'll start focusing in on the game tonight. It's Carolina, Oklahoma coming soon in Charlotte from their field.
As hard as it is to shift our focus to basketball, Carolina's back on the floor tonight in Charlotte against Oklahoma. The Heels and Sooners have seen little of each other through the years, but when they have matched up, good things have happened. The Heels' victory over number 1 Oklahoma in 1990 still ranks as one of the greatest wins in program history. And Jones, a little more recently in 2009, the Sooners were nothing more than a speed bump on Carolina's way to another national championship.
Yeah, Dave, that's right. That 1990 game, that was when Woody said, "There is justice in Austin, Texas," after Carolina got the win there at the end with Rick Fox getting the basket. That was an all-timer for the Tar Heels. And you're right, these two hadn't played very much. This is just the 4th all-time meeting between these two schools. But, Tyler, this one comes in a big spot for the Tar Heels. And Carolina has certainly I think if you were grading Carolina, you'd probably say it's been a B+ so far. It's been pretty good. There's some things the Tar Heels would like to work on. They have some quality wins in their pocket, but they would also, as they go into the holiday break here, they don't play again until December 29th. They'd like to go in with not just being competitive and close in one of these tight games against the top 10 team like they have been with UConn and with Kentucky. Carolina expects to win some of these games and to get that opportunity against what has been a very good Oklahoma team. This 4th all-time meeting between these two is a big one for Heels.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to kind of define the trend of our season. We've struggled. Where I said we struggled, we've just lost the last 2. We played really well, but it kind of felt like we were chasing them both, and hopefully we can get out ahead and get a little bit of a lead tonight. But really losing 3 in a row to top 10 teams is a difficult place to come back from. So hopefully we can pick this one up, kind of change the trend of where we're headed right now, and really start to take off as we start ACC play.
Dave, it has been, you don't say the first time ever or anything like that with Carolina basketball very often. This is the first time ever Carolina has played 5 ranked teams in a 6-game stretch. And so this has been an incredibly difficult run for Carolina. We knew it would be, and we talked about that all the way back when you and Adam were doing those games in the Bahamas. We knew that from the Bahamas until this game tonight was going to be a really hard stretch. And Carolina has won some of those games. They've lost some of those games. They've been competitive in all of them. And so it just feels like an important game, Dave, to cap this stretch of games for Carolina. How can the Tar Heels finish things off? And what feeling do you have about the non-conference portion of the season? There's still one more non-conference game, but that's a game that Carolina will be heavily favored at home against Charleston Southern. So, how do you feel about this really difficult line of games? I think tonight's going to go a long way in how you feel over the holiday break.
And during this stretch, R.J. Davis has put together about as good a run as anybody has that's worn a Carolina uniform in the last half-centuries. Scored at least 26 points in the last 5 games, and for all the great players that have come through Chapel Hill, Charlie Scott in the 1969-1970 season was the last Tar Heel to put together a scoring run like Davis has, and Charles Scott did it 12 consecutive times of scoring 26 or more. Just an amazing stat.
Yeah, not bad there. Charlie Scott, Bobby Lewis, and Lenny Rosenbluth, the only other Tar Heels in history to have a scoring run like R.J. Davis is on right now. And, Z, what has impressed me about it is I do think R.J. is doing it in a more efficient way than we have seen at times from him in the past. He's always been a guy that is a bit of a volume shooter. And his percentage is not going to be as high as Tyler Zeller's was or Armando Bacot's is, for example, just because of the types of shots that he's taking. But he's hanging around that 40% field goal or 45%, 40% from three. And he's so good at the free throw line where, he unfortunately missed his last shot from the line against Kentucky, but he had made 41 in a row before that. And so being aggressive, taking good shots for the most part, I think that to me has been the impressive part about what he's been able to do.
I agree. I think his degree of difficulty has gone down a lot this year, which shows why he's able to make a lot more of those shots. Last year, I felt like there was times he was, shooting that crossover step back shot. It's an extremely difficult shot. He can make it, but not at a 40% rate. And so he's able to work with guys and be able to come off screens. Guys are setting great screens for him. And I think they're realizing that if he's making those shots, the team has to adjust to them, and then they end up with shots. And he's doing a great job just kind of working within the offense.
The one thing, though, Dave, R.J. Davis was Carolina's leading rebounder last game. And you love R.J. to be involved rebounding-wise, Z, but you don't want him to be your leading rebounder. He ended up with 7 in that game. And the rebounds have been an issue. Against the best teams that Carolina has played, the Tar Heels have not done as well on the glass, and they were out-rebounded by a total of 20 against Connecticut and Kentucky. And so first time the Heels have been out-rebounded by double digits in back-to-back games since the NIT run in 2003, and that's postseason NIT. So that's not a company you want to be keeping. And for me, Carolina's just got to get better in that area.
We do, and I think, obviously a lot of that's on Armando to be able to grab those and everything, but I think we got to do a better job of running down those long rebounds. Teams are shooting more threes now. We're doing a great job of contesting them, but sometimes we get out and we don't get back and get to the free throw line to get those long rebounds that Armando's not going to be able to get, which is a lot of the rebounds RJ got last game.
Yeah.
But, when we're playing those big guys, Armando's usually very engaged inside, and it's hard to rebound that way. So we got to get some more guys running in to grab rebounds and then push the ball the other way.
Armando Bacot, R.J. Davis, and the rest of the Tar Heels take on Oklahoma tonight in Charlotte. After another break, we'll talk about the Sooners. That's coming your way next from Learfield. Tar Heel fans, Food Line is the proud sponsor of the Score to Give More program. For each free throw the Tar Heels make in tonight's game, Food Line Feeds will donate 100 meals to feed our neighbors here in the Triangle. This season, a total of 212 free throws have been made by the Tar Heels. That's a current total of 21,200 meals donated to help our neighbors in need. Oklahoma, as we mentioned a moment ago, is the latest in a long line of quality teams Carolina has faced this year. With a 10-0 record, the Sooners are one of just 4 unbeaten teams remaining, and Jones, all of the early success has Porter Moser's squad ranked 7th in this week's AP poll.
Yeah, they are the poster child for the transfer portal era of college basketball, Dave. This is a team that finished below 500 a season ago. Oklahoma was 15-17 in Porter Moser, who we know is a good coach. He's in his 20th year overall, his 3rd year at Oklahoma. A lot of people remember that run with Loyola Chicago to the Final Four in 2018. But they had a tough year a year ago, 15-17. So what does he do? Not only does he bring in 2 freshmen, but he goes and gets 6 transfers. And that has totally changed this team. And that includes, Javian McCollum, a Siena transfer, who's averaging better than 14 points a game. A familiar name to ACC fans, John Hughley IV, who was at Pittsburgh the last several years. Hughley had a big game against Carolina 2 seasons ago in the Smith Center. Didn't play much last year due to injury, but he transfers in and is averaging 11 points and nearly 6 rebounds a game. You've got Rivaldo Soares, who is an Oregon transfer. He's been a big part coming off the bench for them. So, Zia, it is the symbol of college basketball now. And I'm not acting like the Tar Heels haven't brought in transfers too. Of course, we know that they have. But it is such a year-to-year proposition now. and Oklahoma was able to hit the reset button, as everybody's able to now with that portal. And at least to this point, it seems like they've hit a good combination of skill and chemistry, and they're off to a terrific start this year.
Which is incredibly hard. I mean, to be together, 6 guys came in, 2 freshmen, 8 guys on the team came in new. Just to have chemistry is so hard because you don't really show up till July, and then you take a break at the end of July, and it just happens so quick. So very impressive what they've done so far. Be interesting if they continue to build on that this year. But the other part that impressed me with Oklahoma is just the even distribution of points. Nobody's really scoring a ton of points. They got 6 or 7 guys who can score double digits pretty easily on any given night.
Another name, Dave, just that ACC fans might remember, Jalen Moore. He's a Georgia Tech transfer, 6'7" junior from Birmingham, Alabama, and he's played well, averaging better than 8 points and 5 rebounds per contest. He had 15 points against Carolina last year in at the Smith Center, and so they've gotten players from all over the place that they've put together to a very strong start. Their schedule has been okay. They won a holiday tournament in the Thanksgiving time period, including a win against USC. They did beat Arkansas, a team that Carolina has seen, 79-70. They also played Providence and won that game as well as part of the Big 12 Big East Challenge. So they've played a decent schedule, and they couldn't do any better than they've done at 10-0, one of 4 remaining unbeatens in the country.
Like Tyler said, there are 7 other players outside of Otega Oweh that are scoring at least 7.5 points per game, and Oweh leads the Big 12 in shooting percentage, almost 67% from the floor. He's among the national leader in steals per game, so Oklahoma can get it done on both sides of the floor as the Tar Heels are tasked with being the first team this year to take down the Sooners. We'll take a break and come back. Tyler Zeller's going to stay put. Adam Lucas will rejoin us. They'll answer your Carolina questions, and Jones will slide over to begin his 2-part conversation with Hubert Davis inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. This is the Reed's Jewelers pregame show from Learfield. Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Reed's Jewelers. The official Reed's Jewelers tip-off time is going to be somewhere around 9:05, 9:10, so hang with us. Reed's Jewelers, your home for fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. That's Reed's Jewelers, trusted with life's moments. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers or Reeds.com. Dave Nathan here in studio, Tyler Zeller and Adam Lucas on scene at Charlotte, or I should say in Charlotte, for Carolina and Oklahoma coming up tonight. And those two are going to tackle your Carolina questions. And Tyler, the first one comes from Paul Miller, who has one about Armando Bacot and the lack of shots. Is it a function of Carolina not getting him the ball or him not making himself available?
I think it's a combination of the two, but I think the biggest thing, Kentucky did a really good job of doubling him. As soon as he got the ball, they brought a second guy to him. He has to do a better job of passing out of it, as he had the 6 turnovers last game. But really the shot attempts, he's not a guy who takes quick shots. He likes to take a dribble or 2 before he shoots. So when those double teams come, it makes it a little challenging for him. So I think he just has to be able to make some quicker moves after he catches the ball.
Let's make a quick move to Michael Wallace's question. Adam, this one's got your name all over it. With the busy stretch of games that the Tar Heels have been involved in, how much of a break, if any, does the team get over the Christmas holiday?
They will get a break, Dave. They'll get to go home for Christmas. The guys who can drive home will go back to Chapel Hill tonight and then drive home in the morning. The guys who need to fly home will leave from Charlotte tomorrow morning or around lunchtime as soon as they can get a flight out. And then the team will reconvene in Chapel Hill the day after Christmas and practice on the night of the 26th and get ready for that non-conference finale against Charleston Southern on the 29th. And then you got to get right ready for ACC play because there's 3 straight road games waiting for you in January. We've talked a lot about this stretch of really tough non-conference games, but it's not easy when you finally dip your toe full on into the ACC either.
Tyler, while we have you here for just a second, you were a guy that took Christmas break about as well as anybody. As somebody that's got to fly back to the great Midwest for a few days, what do you do? Do you do things to keep yourself in shape and condition? Do you just let basketball go for a couple days? How do you spend your break?
Hold on, Tyler. Why were you better at Christmas break than anyone else? Is that because we just assume you are better at everything than everyone? So we assume, like, Christmas break, watch Zeller, he carols like nobody's business.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I did that better, but, no, really just back home. My dad used to work me out a lot in high school, so I'd go home, we'd get into a gym somewhere, and he'd put me through a workout, which was so much fun to be able to go back and do. I even did it when I was playing in the NBA, so it was fun to be able to get back and do that. The workouts aren't as intense as practices and all that, but you try to stay in shape, try to stay in form. But at the same time, you also try to take a step back and enjoy time with your family, which can be limited during the season.
Did you ever have to play on Christmas Day in the NBA?
Yes. Thankfully, the once or twice I did, it was at noon, so we were able to do Christmas at that night. But, we did a couple of Christmas games. So we actually, in college, we got snowed in at the end of Christmas break one time where I had to stay an extra night at home before we were able to fly out.
Adam, you took the words right out of my mouth. The NBA is centered itself around Christmas unlike any other sport. And, goodness, to be involved in a game on that day and then try to take care of family stuff, it is no small feat. But like we said, Tyler Zeller does Christmas break unlike anybody else. He can handle it.
Is that actually on your jersey in the rafters?
It is. If you look, it's in fine print down at the bottom. Yeah.
Best Christmas breaker Tar Heel ever.
All right. Well, Tyler thinks back on his days taking Christmas break. We're going to send things over to Jones, who's got some more questions for Coach Davis inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. It's brought to you by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. And for a dealer near you, just go to ContinentalTire.com.
Carolina's in Charlotte to face Oklahoma. I'm with the head coach of the Tar Heels, Hubert Davis. We are inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Coach, I know you enter tonight with a heavy heart after the passing of your former teammate, our friend, Eric Montross. Just a difficult blow for all of us.
It is, just like you said, he was my teammate for 2 years at Carolina, but he was my friend for 34. And so, very difficult time for the Carolina family, but no more difficult than for Eric's family right now.
Coach, you've had some very real-life challenges over the last few months. How do you balance that with trying to do your job as well?
Well, I've said this before. There are going to be rainy and windy days. They're not always going to be sunny. And the only thing you can control is how you react and how you respond. And so just thinking about reacting and responding in the right way in the midst of real hurt.
Coach, quick look back to that Kentucky game. It seemed like your big 2 points of emphasis were turnovers and rebounding.
Yeah, it was. It was in terms of taking care of the basketball, that was uncharacteristic of us. We all year at the beginning of the year, but we've done a good job of taking care of the basketball, and so that was uncharacteristic. And rebounding, I've been straightforward and direct that just has to improve to allow us to be successful out there, and it's going to be number one on the list in terms of having an opportunity to compete against Oklahoma tonight.
They come in as one of the 4 remaining undefeated teams in the country. What have you seen from them that has them playing so well?
Well, I mean, they're a good team. They've got really good individual players, but each individual player knows their role and accepts their role, and they're becoming stars in their roles. And so it'll be a tough test for us, but as I said before, that's exactly what we want. And early in the season, in the first 10 games, we've gotten a tough test every game, and I feel like it's preparing us and helping us become the team that we want to become.
Last thing, Coach, seems like they want to get in the paint offensively. What's important for you guys on the defensive side?
Yeah, defending the paint. The number one way that they try to get points in the paint is off their ball screen pick and roll action, and so the way that we play them defensively has got to be tight in terms of taking care of the paint. Not that they can't shoot the ball from the outside, but one of the things, any team, you give them consistent points of paint. That's why it's so important to us to get into the paint, because when we do that in combination of getting to the free throw line and making threes, it's very difficult to beat us.
Carolina, Oklahoma coming soon in Charlotte. Coach, as always, thank you for your time and best of luck tonight.
No, thank you, Jones. I appreciate it.
We're going to take a break, come back. We'll talk to Coach. We'll focus in on the game a little later in our pregame show.
And that is the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. We've got our keys to the game in a moment, but first things first, as we approach the top of the hour, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves down the lines on the Tar Heel Sports Network. Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today. Jones, my key to the game, one of the two things that you were just speaking to Coach Davis about, and that's turnovers. The Tar Heels had 17 of them in their last game against Kentucky, and despite that, still had a chance to win until a late miscue ended the Heels' hopes of what would have been a huge come-from-behind win. So no doubt Carolina's got to take better care of the basketball against the Sooners.
In honor of Eric, Dave, I think Tyler's going to take rebounding, so I'm going to let him have it. So I will go over to I do think it's important to keep Oklahoma out of that painted area tonight. They do like to have a lot of their offense start in that painted area, and the shooting percentages show it for the Sooners. I mean, they're 11th in the nation coming into this game, shooting at 51% as a team through 10 games. So that's not they've had one or two hot games shooting. That's a pretty consistent number there at this point. And so, Tyler, Carolina's had trouble at times against the better teams that it's played. Tennessee, UConn, those two really jump to my mind as far as keeping the opposition out of that painted area. And so that'll be important tonight, particularly as you heard Coach Davis talking about on that pick and roll. Oklahoma does a lot of its offense off of that. So how does Carolina defend against that and make sure that their shots are challenged ones?
I think the biggest thing, we have to be aggressive in those pick and rolls so we don't leave those gaps. But even more importantly on that, we have to have the backside help ready to go. We call it two-way stunts. You can't be coming in to tag the big guys. When they throw it out to the three, you got no chance of getting back. So we got to be in early on that to be able to help on that pass back to the big, and then be able to get out to the three-point shooters.
And then we all agree rebounding is important tonight.
Of course it is. I had two keys. Oklahoma's done a great job defending the ball, so we got to make sure we take great shots. But to honor Eric, you got to rebound. As a big, it's always important, especially the last two games we got out-rebounded. So I think it's extremely important for us to be able to at least be even, if not ahead, like we usually are in rebounding.
Z, speaking of those last two games, this is the third in a row where Carolina's been on what you would call a neutral court. Madison Square Garden, Atlanta, Georgia, and now Charlotte, North Carolina. Before we take our final break here, just set the scene in terms of what kind of a home crowd advantage Carolina can expect playing just a couple of hours from home.
Yeah, I can take that one for you, Dave, and it is going to be a heavily Carolina crowd, as you would expect here in Charlotte. And just in looking around Spectrum Center, really there's a pocket of Oklahoma fans directly behind what is going to be the Oklahoma bench, and the Sooners will be the designated home team tonight, so Carolina will be wearing its Carolina blue road uniforms as the designated visitors. And I'm not saying there isn't an Oklahoma fan anywhere else, but it is a sea of blue in the rest of this arena other than that pocket directly behind their bench. And where I do think that will be interesting is for one player specifically, and that's Armando Bacot. Bacot at home this year, Dave, is averaging nearly 21 points and 13 rebounds, shooting better than 61%. Away from the Smith Center, he's at fewer than 10 points, 10 rebounds, and shooting below 40%. And so he's been much, much better in the Smith Center than he has been away from the Smith Center. Some of that is the level of competition, of course, but those Smith Center games include good performances from him against Florida State and against Tennessee. So how does he do? Is the crowd going to help him a little bit individually? Because I think his performance tonight will be one that's under the microscope a little bit after a tough couple games for him against good opponents in UConn and Kentucky. So it will be a predominantly Tar Heel crowd. There is no question about that here in Charlotte tonight.
Baycott pretty good in the last outing in the Jumpman Invitational. A year ago scored 26. Let us not forget R.J. Davis hit 4 3-pointers, had 5 assists, and scored 19 in Carolina's 80-76 win over Michigan. So some good history for the Tar Heels and Armando Baycott in this event, which tips off after our final timeout. Jones and Tyler will have the starting lineups for you and the tip-off in just the 4th ever meeting between Carolina and Oklahoma. We've got that when we come back after this. It's been the Reed's Jewelers pregame show from Learfield.
Just about time for Carolina and Oklahoma in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Just before in Arena, they began doing the starting lineups. A nice tribute to Eric and a moment of silence here in Charlotte to honor our great friend. And difficult game for us to be here tonight, but we're excited to be bringing you Carolina basketball. Let's get to the starting lineups presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill, an official beer of the Tar Heels. We'll start with Oklahoma. They are one of 4 undefeated teams remaining in the country. 10-0. They are ranked number 7 in the AP poll and 8th in the coaches poll. The 3 guards that start for the Sooners include Javian McCollum, a 6'2 junior from Fort Myers, Florida, a Siena transfer. Coach Porter Moser says he has speed and scoring, and he's putting up better than 14 points per contest. The leading scorer for Oklahoma is 6'5 sophomore Otega Owe from Newark, New Jersey, Blair Academy, averaging just under 15 points, 4 rebounds per contest. And the third guard is Milos Uzan. He's the leading assist man for the Sooners at better than 4 per contest, 8.5 points, 4 rebounds per game, the 6'4 sophomore from Las Vegas. The 2 big guys, Sam Godwin, a 6'10 senior from Ada, Oklahoma. He is a transfer from Wofford, was a backup last year, has taken the starting role, averaging better than 8 points, nearly 6 rebounds, shooting over 74% from the floor. And Jalen Moore, 6'7 junior transfer from Georgia Tech, made 15 starts with the Jackets a year ago, averaging better than 8 points for the Sooners. He had 15 against the Tar Heels last year in a Carolina victory in the Smith Center. Porter Moser is in his 3rd year as the head coach of Oklahoma after a successful run at Loyola Chicago. Now for the Tar Heels, they come in ranked 11th in the AP poll, number 13 in the coaches poll, 7-3 through 10 games. They do have an ACC win in their pocket with that victory over Florida State a couple of weeks ago. Hubert Davis in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Heels. His teams have won better than 68% of their games. Carolina will start the same starting 5, which they have settled into here as of late. Elliot Cadeau and R.J. Davis in the backcourt. Cadeau, the leader in assists for Carolina at 4 per game. He's averaging nearly 3 assists for every turnover. The freshman is from West Orange, New Jersey. And R.J. Davis, red hot, 21.5 points on average for R.J., the 6-foot senior from White Plains, New York. He has scored 26 or more points in 5 consecutive games. Great to see Cormac Ryan get the lid off the basket last game. He's made 16 threes all season. 4 of them came in that loss to Kentucky in Atlanta. He was 4 of 7 from 3. The graduate transfer started his career at Stanford, then went to Notre Dame, and is finishing things up in Chapel Hill with the Tar Heels. Up front for Carolina, Harrison Ingram, 6'7 junior from Dallas. Ingram coming off a rare poor shooting night. He was just 4 of 10 and 0 of 3 from 3 against Kentucky. In total, he's shooting 48% from the floor, 43% from 3. And we mentioned Armando Baycott, been a solid year for Armando, but looking for a big performance against a big team. Baycott averaging 15 points and 11 rebounds per game this season. The Duncan Uniform Report. It's time to get back to buzzer beaters, blocks, bounce passes, and most of all, Duncan. Welcome back, Tar Heel fans. America runs on Duncan. Oklahoma, the designated home team in this neutral site location of Charlotte, although it will be certainly a Tar Heel crowd. Oklahoma wearing its home white uniforms with the crimson numbers, letters, and trim. Carolina in its road Carolina blue, white numbers, letters, and trim, the Argyle down the side of the jerseys and the shorts. The officials tonight, 3 familiar names for sure for ACC basketball fans: Doug Sermons, Bert Smith, and Lee Cassell. So 3 guys the Tar Heels see pretty regularly through the year will be our 3 officials tonight. Earlier this evening, Florida, the women for Florida, blew out Michigan. The Tar Heel women won last night in this event. Time for the men to finish things up. The ball's in the air, and Carolina will have the ball first. Heels going left to right as we see it here in Charlotte. Cadeau with the bounce pass left wing to Davis. Now down low to Baycott. Double team comes, and Baycott turns it over as the ball goes into the backcourt, and it will belong to Oklahoma. So, Z, we talked about it in the pregame. Baycott had 6 turnovers in the game against Kentucky. First time he touches it, double team comes, and he turns it over.
Yeah, it came quick. They got there before he could get the ball down, and he just got to be a little more, get Ingram and him on the same page. Ingram cut, and Baycott thought he was going to stay out for a shot.
Yeah, Ingram was out near the timeline, cut away from the ball as the inbounds goes into the corner. Quick jump shot is missed by the Sooners. That was taken by McCollum. Rebound to Ingram. So Carolina running the other way. Each team's had the ball once. No score so far. Cadeau tries to attack from the left wing. Cut off there. Has to send it back out to Ingram. Now to Cadeau again. Drives in. Back out to Ingram on the right side. A lot of this offense happening on the perimeter right now for Carolina. Ingram backing in. Spinning to the rim. Off that iron. Wouldn't stay in from the low right block. Rebound to Oklahoma. Sooners the other direction. McCollum, the Siena transfer, guarded by Cadeau. Pitches it over on the right side to Uzan. He'll hand off to Owe. Round the perimeter, they work it again. It's back on the left to McCollum. Middle of the floor, passes to Uzan. Shot clock down to 11 for Oklahoma. No score so far. Penetration, dish down on the paint. Getting too low was Godwin, and he turned it over, trying to kick it out. Ingram with the interception. Leaves it for Davis. Drives all the way down, floats it up. No good from the right side. Rebound Oklahoma. Tar Heels' last 2 possessions have had good looks. One by Ingram, one by Davis, but neither go in. Sooners the other way. And a traveling violation as they kick it into the left sideline area to Jalen Moore. He tried to pump and drive, and when he did so, shuffled his feet.
Starting off with a very fast pace from both teams, getting up and down. Just got to slow down a little bit. Great looks. Just got to be a little more patient.
Oklahoma with some token zone pressure against Carolina. As the Tar Heels come front side, now the Sooners drop into the man-to-man as Carolina's in the half court. Cormac Ryan, clean look from 3, in and out. Baycott had a hand on the rebound. It was tipped out of there, and according to, well, that I'll tell you what, they said that was Bert Smith. That's not Bert Smith. That's Keith Kimball, the official, and according to Mr. Kimball, the ball out of bounds and to Oklahoma. So the officials, Doug Sermons, Keith Kimball, and Lee Cassell.
Armando, great job of the handoff and trying to get to the rim. Just couldn't secure the rebound.
Baycott on the other side, though. Z blocks away on the attempt by Godwin. Here's Davis. Quickly, front side, left corner, Cormac Ryan. Well short on the 3. And we're still scoreless as Oklahoma gathers in the rebound. Neither team able to find any offense so far. Oklahoma's only taken 1 shot. They have 2 turnovers. They're 0 for 1. Carolina is now 0 for 4 from the floor. Cadeau guarding the driving Owe left of the lane. He sends it out to Jalen Moore, the Georgia Tech transfer. Trying to back in against Ingram. Poked away from behind. Cormac Ryan dives to the floor, and he saves it to Ingram. See if the Tar Heels can get on the board. They're on the run. R.J. Davis, how about his try for 3? Yes, sir. Charlotte explodes the 3 for Davis. Finally, somebody on the board. Heels up a triple.
R.J. continues to shoot it well. Great play by Ingram to be able to get on the ball for a wide-open look.
Well, you really felt this predominant Tar Heel crowd. They were thirsty for one of those suckers to go in. It drops home to make it 3-0 Carolina. Jalen Moore tries to answer for Oklahoma. Misses everything from the left sideline. Here comes Carolina the other way. Cadeau right down the center of the floor. Kicks it in the corner right to Ryan. Gets baseline to the rim for 2.
Great pace. Cadeau pushed the ball up the court. Cadeau made him close out and able to make an easy drive baseline.
Nice move there by Ryan for his first bucket. 5-0 Carolina. 16:40 to go in the first half. Oklahoma the other direction. Dumps it down low to Godwin, who had Cadeau guarding him on a switch. And R.J. Davis reaches over to pick up the foul to slap away. And, Z, that's been a point of discussion here. Carolina has switched so much defensively, but other teams starting to get some of the guards, predominantly Cadeau, in some difficult defensive matchups.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on that one because Armando got switched off on the guard. Up until that point, Armando was showing and recovering really, really well back to his man. So not real sure why they switched that one, but did get put the guards in a tough position there.
First free throw from Godwin rolls in for Oklahoma's first point. Sooners will take the opportunity to sub. Rivaldo Soares checks in for the first time. Also, John Hughley, the Pittsburgh transfer, is going to check in, and he will get the opportunity to do so as Godwin makes the second free throw. Also, Latrey Darthard, a transfer from Utah Valley, has come in for Oklahoma. Full court pressure here from the Sooners. It's a zone press. Carolina able to break it. Cadeau to Ingram, back to Cadeau, and he gets front side on the right. 5-2 our score. Carolina on top. A three-pointer by R.J. Davis and a driving layup by Cormac Ryan. The points for the Heels. Pick and roll. Bacot rolling to the hoop and dunking it home.
Great play set up. Hubert called a timeout or a play there and able to get what he wanted. Armando rolling to the basket.
R.J. Davis with the delivery to the rolling Bacot for the flush. It's 7-2 Carolina. Tar Heels have scored on their last three possessions. Driving in on the right for Oklahoma, getting to the rim, but missing was McCollum. Ingram way up in the air for the rebound.
Great rebound.
Push it the other way, Z, leave it for Davis. Gets it down low to Bacot. One-on-one with Hughley. Spins, pumps, hooks, and misses everything. Threw it right over the rim and hit the left side of the backboard as he shot it from the right side of the paint. Other direction, Oklahoma. McCollum. Hughley's going to try the three. It's off the back iron. No, and there's a rebounding foul on Owe as he went over the back of Ingram. Ingram has been involved a lot for Carolina here early on to help the Heels to the 7-2 lead, even though he doesn't have any points so far. He has a couple of rebounds, making 3 rebounds and an assist for Ingram to this point. So, Heels 7, Sooners 2, 15:32 to go. First half in Charlotte from Learfield. Tar Heels with the early 7-2 advantage. Our broadcast tonight presented in part by Allen Tate Realtors. Whether you're buying, selling, relocating, or seeking financing or insurance, Allen Tate can help. Allen Tate Realtors, the #1 realtor in the Carolinas with more than 70 local offices. Proud partner of Carolina Athletics. Couple of finals on that North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. Some ACC teams. NC State gets the win at home over St. Louis tonight, 82-70. Duke wins a competitive game against Baylor. Duke came into that game number 21 in the country. Baylor ranked 10th. That was in Madison Square Garden. Devils win that 78-70. And a big upset, UConn. We've seen how good UConn can be. But the 5th-ranked Huskies fall at Seton Hall tonight, 75-60. Tyler Zeller joining me, Jones Angel. And Tar Heels making some subs, as for the first time, Seth Trimble will check in, as does Jalen Withers. So the Heels have Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Withers, and Bacot. And against this full-court zone press for Oklahoma, Withers' pass almost intercepted, but able to complete it to Davis. He'll run the point. Ooh, crossover, gets by his defender, and his runner. That was gorgeous as he pushes it in from the free throw line.
Great job rejecting the screen. They jumped high on it, be able to get downhill.
9-2 the score, with Davis pushing it in. He has 5 of Carolina's 9. Oklahoma the other way. Hughley, middle of the paint, turned it over, tried to find his cutting teammate Suarez on the baseline, and bounced it out of bounds.
Got lucky. Withers got lost there. He actually was open, but thankfully it was a bad pass, and our ball.
Carolina has 9 total points. 5 of them have been on the fast break, as Carolina has been able to push it up the floor some. Some more zone pressure from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma in a 1-2-2 three-quarter court press, just trying to slow us down a little bit.
Almost again get a turnover. Withers, who's been a little turnover prone at times, had a poor pass to Trimble, but he was able to save it on the sideline. Carolina setting up in the half court. Davis to a rolling Bacot. Extra pass corner left to Ryan. Nothing there. Heels will reset. That's okay. Still 6 on the shot clock for R.J. Davis. Crossover, step back. That's an impossible shot. How'd he do it?
That's an incredible shot. That is a 10 out of 10 on difficulty scale, and he was able to make it.
Timeout, Oklahoma, as Porter Moser probably just taking the timeout to see if somebody will cool off R.J. Davis on the Tar Heels sideline, as Davis has 8 of Carolina's 12 points. I mean, that was shot clock getting late, crossover, step back, three-pointer, and it was nothing but net for the Tar Heels senior from White Plains, New York. Some check of the Lenovo stats. Tar Heels 5 of 10 shooting and 2 of 4 from three-point range. Oklahoma still does not have a field goal. Oklahoma's 0 of 5 from the field with 4 turnovers. Their 2 points have come at the free throw line. So 0 of 5 shooting for Oklahoma, 0 of 2 from 3, and 4 turnovers for the Sooners. That has helped Carolina out to the 12-2 lead here with 14:31 to go in the first half. Heels will come out of the huddle with the same 5 that were on the floor. That's Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Withers, and Baycott. Godwin back out there for Oklahoma. He replaces Hughley, the Pittsburgh transfer who had been in. Coming front side for Oklahoma, it's Uzan. Trimble checking him. Uzan drives to the elbow left. Pitch out to Owe. Nearly get away by Ryan, but Owe able to drive the lane and get the bucket. So first field goal for Oklahoma comes at about 14:10. That's the approximate time the first basket went in for the Sooners. Cross-court pass, Trimble to a cutting Withers. He's close to the cup. He's able to pivot and hook it home.
Withers, great job standing on the three-point line. Saw he had a chance to cut to the basket, made the shot a lot easier.
It was patient, too. Didn't force it once he got it. He was able to pivot, get a good look, and hook it in for his first basket to make it 14-4. Backing in, Owe against Cormac Ryan kind of knocked him down on his move. Misses the hook shot, but then a rebounding foul called on the Tar Heels. It's going to be called on Withers, his first.
Armando went to help on the back down, and his man came down. Nobody checked him, and unfortunately he got the rebound.
We've seen that happen sometimes for Baycott when he's trying to help defensively. Ends up getting out of position, which is hurt at times on the glass.
It's hard to get back to get that rebound.
Tough shot on the baseline. No good by Oklahoma. Rebound slapped out. It's still loose. R.J. Davis able to run it down. Never had his footing on the layup attempt in transition, and he missed it. Oklahoma the other direction. It's still 14-4. Carolina with the lead. Davis did a lot right but couldn't finish as a foul on the three-pointer, which may make Hubert Davis's head explode as he has really worked hard on that. But Withers fouls a three-point shooter, and it's going to put Oklahoma to the line. That's also 2 fouls on Withers. Carolina's only been whistled for 3. We've only played 6 minutes and 46 seconds, but Withers has 2 fouls. 3 shots coming for Oklahoma, and a couple Tar Heels going to check in next opportunity.
That's a tough foul on Withers, but he obviously fouled him. His feet got tangled up. You got to let the three-point shooter land, and unfortunate, but you just got to find a way to challenge by his side, not through him.
Soares, good free throw shooter at nearly 85%, makes the first. Second one's up, and that's good too. In fact, Oklahoma's a really good free throw shooting team. We know how well we feel like Carolina has shot this year. Tar Heels are 76% of the team. Oklahoma's at 78% from the free throw line. And they're 4 for 4 tonight. 14-6 the score. One more coming for Soares. Baycott and Withers sit as Washington and Ingram come in. All 3 free throws good for Soares, so a costly foul on Withers. Carolina will have Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and Jalen Washington as the 5 on the floor. The zone pressure again for Oklahoma. Davis diagnosing, pitches over on the left side to Cormac Ryan. Ryan comes front side. Really after that first pass is completed, Oklahoma's backing up with that defense as Ryan got deep and then circled all the way back out to R.J. Davis. Ryan got to within about 2 or 3 feet of the rim and didn't shoot. Shot clock's down to 8 for R.J. Davis. Long pass over on the right side to Ingram. Shot clock's under 5. Ingram, shot clock's at 1. Has to force up a tough 3. No good. Carolina never got into its offense on that possession. Oklahoma with the stop. The basketball down by 7. 14-7 our score. Hughley back in for Oklahoma. Has it outside the arc. Goes back door to Soares. Ingram able to cut him off. Soares trying to back in against Ingram. His hook shot rolls in, and then Soares gives it that's good, right in Ingram's face. As there's a foul off the ball the other way. Is going to be called on Hughley as he was battling with Jalen Washington as the 2 ran down the floor to try to get position in the paint. First foul on Hughley. Just the second on Oklahoma. 14-9. Carolina's led by as many as 10, but the Sooners have run off 5 straight to get back within 5 as Trimble will inbounds to Ryan in the corner right. To Washington, hands it right back to Ryan. Pulls up at the right elbow, off the rim. No, Trimble tipped the rebound, but it goes to Oklahoma. Sooners trying to continue this 5-0 run. Boy, wide open in transition is Dart Hard, and Carolina lucky that the three-pointer pops out. Washington with the board. He'll give it to R.J. Davis right down the center of the floor. Davis stops at the top of the key, gets it to Washington. Heels will set up the offense. Ryan has it now. Tried to pass to a cutting Washington. Tipped away. Right back to Ryan. Back to Washington, and he hooks it home.
Great patience by Washington after he caught it. Didn't catch it clean. Took a second and able to get the hook shot off.
Cadeau to the scorer's table for Carolina. He'll come in next opportunity. 16-9. Heels by 7. Largest lead has been 10 here early on. In the post, Hughley. One-on-one with Jalen Washington. Faces up on the baseline. Now sends it out. Boy, a pump fake got Trimble into the air. That allowed Owe to drive by him and scoop it in.
Trimble helped a little too much on the post and couldn't recover it his man.
Nice touch pass by Ryan, but Ingram fumbled it over the baseline. Carolina had moved down the floor quickly. Got it to Ryan in the corner. Touch pass to Ingram, but he loses it for the turnover. So Oklahoma has gathered its footing some after the Tar Heels hit them hard early. It's a 5-point game, 16-11. Carolina on top, but Oklahoma will have the basketball after this. Heels up 5, 11:21 to go, first half from Learfield.
We're on the road with Honda dealers of the Carolinas. If you're a Tar Heel fan, don't just cheer for the best, drive the best. Drive a Honda. Better hurry, they're going fast. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
11:21 to go, first half. Tar Heels 16, Oklahoma 11. We're brought to you in part by Fairfield by Marriott, part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels, proud partner of Carolina Athletics. Oklahoma's already inbounded it. We'll talk to Tyler Zettler, joining me, Jones Angel, here in just a moment. We're joined on the concourse level here in Charlotte. Adam Lucas helping us out with stat work. Ben Alexander, our chief network engineer. Boy, getting physical on the drive for Oklahoma and getting to about 8 feet and pushing it in is Uzan. And Oklahoma now within 3 after the Heels led by as many as 10 early in this one. Trimble's going to go coast to coast and rocket it off the center square for 2.
Nobody matched up with him there in that 1-2-2 press, and nobody took him. Just went right down the middle of the lane.
Carolina continues to push that pace as best it can against that setup zone by Oklahoma. When the Tar Heels have been able to run, they've been effective so far in this game. Oklahoma working in the half court. Tough 3 is short. Rebound goes to Oklahoma, though, at the free throw line. Sooners will get another opportunity. Comes from the corner, too strong. And another offensive rebound for the Sooners. This one belongs to Jalen Moore, and he dunks it in. Carolina giving up too many second chance opportunities this season to this point.
Armando just got to get a little more involved there. He thought he could out-jump him, and that case he was wrong.
10-6, the rebounding advantage for Oklahoma. Carolina up by 3. Ingram has it in the post, low block left. One-on-one, muscles his way in. He's going to be called for an offensive foul. His first. And 4th on Carolina. In fact, those rebounds, our stats a little late changing. That rebounding is actually now 12-6 Oklahoma, including 4 offensive rebounds to 0 for the Sooners. Trimble will check out. Ryan checks out. Coming in is Paxson Wojcik, also Zayden High. So Carolina has a unique 5 out there. It's Cadeau, Wojcik, Ingram, High, and Baycott. Carolina 8 misses, no offensive rebounds. Oklahoma's rebounded 4 of its 10 misses so far. Sooners with a jump shot to try and tie, no good. And it was High with the good box out that allows Baycott to get the rebound. Heels the other direction with a 3-point lead. They've led by as many as 10, so the Sooners have cut it back down to 1 possession at the moment. Cadeau, tough bounce pass in the paint to Baycott, misses the hook shot. Rebound knocked out by Carolina. Baycott frustrated as he heads the other way.
Great pass by Cadeau. I have no idea how he got that one through. It just kept it low. Felt like 3 people swiped at it, just couldn't get it. Great pass.
18-15. Carolina by 3. Oklahoma with the basketball. Uzan. Left of the lane. Long pass in the right corner goes to Darthard. Up the sideline with the pass to Soares. Now Uzan has it again, working on Baycott. Gets into the post, had it knocked away, and then out of bounds and rolls off a Sooner. It'll belong to the Tar Heels. That's turnover number 6 on Oklahoma.
Cadeau able to swipe at the ball, be able to get it loose right off his leg.
McCollum comes back in for the Sooners as Darthard will sit down. Oklahoma setting up in this zone pressure. Z, this just to slow Carolina down a little bit, right?
Yeah, trying to make that shot clock a little shorter. Just not give us as much time to be able to do what we want to do.
Wojcik on the right sideline for Carolina. Bounces to Baycott. Top of the key, now to Cadeau. Cadeau behind a screen is up top. Gets to the right of the lane. His fall away 2-pointers, nothing but net. Cadeau had something to say to the Oklahoma bench.
I think somebody said something to him. Facey looked at him with
20-15, Carolina by 5. Oklahoma with the ball in the half court. Hughley with the dribble handoff to McCollum. McCollum, step back long jumper. Don't know if that's a 2 or a 3. They're going to call it a 2. And it's 20-17.
Pretty good defense, just a really difficult shot, stepping back like that.
Boy, quick 3 from the corner by Wojcik, no good. Zayden High, at least battling for the rebound, but he couldn't hold on to it as he loses it over the baseline. But High got in there. I'll tell you, High, he is always involved on the glass, which is something Carolina needs right now.
He is. He's getting his hand on every rebound. Just got to be able to bring it in. But he's keeping the ball alive. Hopefully we can come up with some of those.
Carolina shooting 9 of 19 from the floor, 47%, 2 of 6 from 3. Oklahoma, 6 of 17 shooting for the Sooners. Another long jump shot for Oklahoma. It's an air ball, but Hughley outworks Baycott for the rebound. Hughley loses it on the drive into the paint after he got the offensive opportunity. Ingram the other way for Carolina to a trailing Cadeau. He'll attack. His floater is short. Gets it right back. His putback is short. Rebound tipped out to Ingram. Pump fake on the 3. Ingram into the lane. His runner's strong, and a foul is called. So Carolina with multiple opportunities that time, and it earns them some free throws when it's all said and done as Hughley is called for the foul. That's 2 on Hughley, 3 on Oklahoma. So free throws coming for Ingram when we return. 20-17, Carolina with the lead. 7:50 to go first half. I believe Ingram will be at the line when we come back. We're in Charlotte tonight. Final game before the holidays for the Heels. They're up 3 from Learfield. Carolina has led by as many as 10, but Oklahoma has warmed up. Sooners have made 5 of their last 10 shots. That's allowed the Big 12 representative to get within 3. Scores 20-17, Carolina. And we believe, we're off the court, so we can't tell for 100%. We believe that was called a shooting foul, and that Ingram will be at the free throw line when action resumes. Harris Teeter is the official grocery store of the Tar Heels and offers everything you need for the perfect game day, from subs to pizza to snacks and drinks. They have you covered. Plus, they offer great ways to save every day with fuel points, eVic, and HT Plus. Visit harristeeter.com for more info. Z, what stood out to you so far? 7:50 to go first half. Heels up 3 with Ingram going to the stripe.
So far, I think we came out, we started off defensively extremely strong. They didn't get many good looks to start. We were able to force, I think they're 7 turnovers now. But since then, I think they've done Oklahoma's done a great job of being a little more patient in their pick and rolls, been able to get a couple more open shots. So we got to pick up that defensive intensity and take the pick and roll out of the game a little bit.
First free throw good by Ingram. That is his first point. Makes it 21-17 and now 22-17. Those are Carolina's first 2 free throws. Oklahoma's 5 of 5. Carolina came into this game second in the nation at better than 21 free throws made per game so far through 10 contests. Been a big part of their offense. Heels up 5, 22-17, but Oklahoma has the basketball. We'll set the 5 on the floor for you for Carolina in just a moment. In the corner, Oklahoma's already turned it over 7 times, now make it 8 as the pass is errant. R.J. Davis back in, comes up with it. Heels will set up in the half court as Davis didn't have numbers, but he's going to go and pull up for a quick 3 off the back iron, still up in the air, and Oklahoma gets the defensive board.
Difficult shot from R.J. He's obviously capable of making it, but I'd like to see him move the ball a little more, get a little easier shot.
Stumbling into the paint, having ripped away. Owe had it taken away by Ingram. Ingram in heavy traffic, able to finish in transition.
Great patience, being able to slow down at the end. He didn't try to just run through it and get it blocked. He did a great job with a little Euro step, be able to finish.
Heels back up 7, 24-17. They have forced now 10 turnovers for Oklahoma. The other way, a little runner pops out for the Sooners. Baycott fires the rebound off the deck and then gets it back. Nearly turns it over on the pitch ahead to Ingram. To Cadeau. Zayden High still in there. Pump fake underneath. Missed the layup. Boy, High had good position. Just kind of fumbled the ball as he went up to score. And that forced the shot to come up short.
Just got to slow down a little bit. It'll come for him.
Oklahoma, Soares driving against Baycott. Get that out of here as he rejects it into the baseline area. Then Baycott went and stepped over Suarez. Don't know why.
Not sure on that one. He walked up on him right after it. He's laying on the ground.
I thought he was going to go help him up, and he walked over to him and stepped over him.
He's actually probably lucky he didn't get a technical.
Yeah, you're right.
On that, so.
Cadeau checks out. Ryan comes back in. So Carolina's now going to have Davis, Ryan, Ingram, High, and Baycott as the 5 on the floor. Carolina up 24-17. Inbounds turns into a quick 2-point jumper. No good. Zayden High cleans the glass for Carolina. He'll bounce it to R.J. Davis. Coming front side on the right. Gets it down low in the post to Baycott. One-on-one. Oh, Baycott spins by Hughley and hooks it in.
Great move. Spinning around. Hughley had no chance of guarding him on that one.
9-point Tar Heel advantage. One off the Carolina largest lead thus far. I said 10 turnovers for Oklahoma earlier. They have 9 thus far. Either way, it's a big number. They came in averaging 13. Heels up 26-17. Dart hard. Over on the right side to Owe. His drive, and it's going to be a goaltend as Zayden High blocked it, but after it hit the backboard. So give the bucket to Owe. And Z, some extended minutes here for Zayden High, and I feel like we say this every time Zayden's out there. Boy, he's active, and he's doing some good stuff.
He does. If you're watching it, you can see it a little harder on the radio. You can't see all the energy, but he's always got his hand on the ball, always in the right spot, just keeping the ball alive, trying to make the right play, and just brings a different energy that I think has helped spur it on, getting us this lead back up.
Carolina up 7 with the basketball, 5:38 to go in the first half. 26-19 our score as R.J. Davis has it between the circles for Carolina. To the left wing, goes to High in the corner. High, bounce pass, Baycott able to secure it. Boy, heavy traffic, and Baycott called a timeout as he was falling out of bounds against the double team. So Carolina's going to keep possession, but I'm not sure Hubert Davis loved how it played out. He kind of took his glasses off and aggressively placed them on the scorer's table as Carolina will take the use it or lose it timeout. Z, how can Armando be better against those double teams?
I think just knowing they're coming. He's got to slow down a little bit. His teammates can help him. I know when I was getting double teamed, you just got to know where the guys are, and shooters got to be ready to shoot. So if you can get the ball out quickly, it makes it harder to double. I think sometimes he gets stuck trying to score a little too long rather than getting rid of the ball before it gets there.
5:26 to go first half. Heels 26, Oklahoma 19. R.J. Davis leads all scorers with 8. Nobody else for Carolina has more than 4. Tar Heels have 4, 6, 8 different players who have scored between 2 and 8 points. Oklahoma also has some balanced scoring as 6 different Sooners have scored. Owe with 6. Suarez has 5 to lead the Sooners to this point. Carolina's led by as many as 10, currently up by 7, and inbounding with 14 on the shot clock. Goes right to Cormac. Ryan, give him the bucket and the foul. Carolina drew up a beauty in the timeout.
Great play by Coach Davis. I don't know what else to say. He drew it up perfect when Cormac came wide open.
Foul on Oklahoma is on McCollum, his first.
You know, as players, we always joke, we can make a lot of great plays, but sometimes when a coach draws up a great play, they just deserve all the credit because he came off wide open, and Coach Davis obviously had seen something on film.
Ryan gets the three-point play, knocking in the free throw, and so that matches Carolina's largest lead of 10. Withers back out there with 2 fouls for the Tar Heels. This is about as big as Carolina can go and still keep guards on the floor. R.J. Davis, Ryan, Withers, Ingram, and Baycott. As driving in, and another steal for Carolina. That's the 7th steal for the Tar Heels. It turns into a fast break opportunity, and Withers is fouled at the back end of it. That is 10 turnovers and 7 steals for Carolina.
Defensively, we're doing a great job. When somebody drives, the guy guarding the man is just getting their body in front of it, and all the guards around are swiping at the ball. We've been very successful getting our hands on it, being able to force those turnovers. Then once we got it, we pushed it hard. We went on a little 3-on-2 run there, and Withers a little surprised by the pass, but able to catch it and get fouled.
He makes the free throw as well, Z, to make it 30-19. The foul was on Godwin, his first. 5th on Oklahoma. Sub for the Heels as Ingram exits and Trimble comes in. So Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Withers, Baycott, and Withers 10 of 12 on the season coming into tonight, makes both free throws. 10 of 12 with the free throw line, makes both free throws. And now it's a 12-point Tar Heel advantage, largest of the night at 31-19. Driving quickly, but having his shot blocked was McCollum. Withers blocked it away. Heels on the run. Davis pulls up for the triple, short, but he runs down his own rebound in the corner. Carolina will reset. Baycott has it, trying to spin against Godwin. Nothing there. Double team comes, and Baycott throws the pass out of bounds.
He needs to just take a reverse dribble, back it out a little bit. He's trying to throw it over a guy jumping at him, and it's a really hard pass to make. Just take a little more time. He's strong enough he can handle that double team.
Tar Heels have 4 turnovers, 2 by Baycott and 2 by Ingram. 31-19 with 4:35 to go in the first half. Oklahoma working a couple of dribble handoffs on the perimeter. McCollum passes over on the left side to Uzan, still outside the three-point arc. Uzan works around a screen, crosses over, gets deep. Nice job by Ryan to force the pass out. Sends it to Owe. Shot clock getting low. It's down to 5. It's going to be just a long chuck by McCollum, and he hits the three from straight on. First three-pointer the Sooners have made after a great defensive possession from Carolina. Oklahoma gets the triple to cut Carolina's advantage down to 9. R.J. Davis the other way to Withers. He's left alone. He'll try a three. Boy, well off the mark. That hit the front left portion of the rim and caromed hard out of bounds. Withers has made just 1 3-pointer this season in 8 attempts. That was back in the Northern Iowa game. That rebound out of bounds to Oklahoma will send us to the under 4-minute timeout here in the first half. 3:51 to go in that first half. Carolina's led by as many as 12, currently up 9, 31-22 from Learfield. Carolina with the 9-point advantage over Oklahoma here in Charlotte, 31-22. Heels have led by as many as 12. We're brought to you in part by the Good Feet store. Foot, knee, hip, or back pain. Good Feet Arch Supports are engineered to support all 4 arches to provide pain relief, balance, and comfort. Try them for yourself. Book your free fitting today at goodfeet.com. Again, that North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard reads 31-22 Carolina. It's brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what they do best. Quick check of some stats presented by Lenovo. Lenovo Smarter Technology for All. Heels shooting 43%, just 2 of 9 from 3, 5 of 5 at the free throw line. Oklahoma 33%, 1 of 8 from 3, also 5 of 5 at the line. Rebounds, still a big advantage for the Sooners, 19-13 in that area. Oklahoma with the basketball. Carolina up by 9. Sooners working in the half court. Driving left baseline, running into heavy traffic goes Uzan. He had to dump it off to Godwin. Oklahoma keeps the possession going. And another foul on a jump shot by Withers. And he's going to be taken out. That's his 3rd foul.
That one's a little tougher. He tried to contest it. He was beside him. Maybe a little bit of a flop, but he hit him enough that it probably was a foul.
Ingram's going to check in. I think the officials have gone to the monitor to see if it was a 2 or a 3.
It's a 3, I think.
It's going to be Owe, and he will indeed get 3 shots. That's twice that Withers has fouled a 3-point shooter.
That one, I feel like he was beside him. He just felt like he could get the ball, stuck his hand in there, and it was just enough.
Withers is talking with Hubert Davis before checking out, because Davis has the hand on the small of the back of Withers. He's going to sit him down as Owe makes the free throw. So this 3rd free throw goes in. Oklahoma will be on a little mini 6-0 run here. We'll have cut Carolina's 12-point lead in half, even though you feel like Carolina's actually had the better of the play. They had that really good defensive effort that forced the three-pointer at the buzzer that went in as Baycott is fouled, getting the rebound on the missed free throw.
And he'll get to shoot, I think.
That foul on Godwin, his 2nd.
Nope, not yet. Just 6.
Yep.
But defensively, I feel like we've done a great job picking it back up. They hit the desperation 3 at the end of the clock and fouled that shooter. But defensively, we've had great pressure, handling the ball screen really well right now.
31-24, so that was the 6th team foul on Oklahoma. So Carolina just working in the half court. Left corner, Ryan. Jab step, gets in. Boy, he thought he got fouled as he tried to shoot it from about 10 feet. Hubert Davis asking the officials where the whistle was on that one. 3:10 to go in the half as Oklahoma has the ball again. Driving to the free throw line and kicking it out for the open three. The Sooners miss it. Ingram chases down the rebound in the corner for Carolina. He'll get it to R.J. Davis. Long pitch ahead to Ryan. Extra pass to Baycott. Knocked out of bounds by Godwin. Good pressure just due to passing by Carolina. Good hustle by Godwin to flash in front and stop the possession for the Heels. They'll have to inbound it.
Baycott ran the floor great there. He was able to seal his man at the free throw line. Just at the last minute, Godwin was able to get in there and tip it away.
Godwin will sit down. He has 2 fouls. Hughley also has 2 fouls, and he checks back in. R.J. Davis inbounds to Baycott, hands it right back to R.J. He'll pull up for the long 2-point jumper off the iron. No, Baycott with the rebound, goes back up, no good, but he's fouled. That'll be on Hughley, and that's 3 on the Oklahoma big man. So Hughley and Godwin, the 2 main post players for Oklahoma, in some foul issue. Godwin's going to have to get back up off the bench with 2 fouls. Hughley has 3. Withers has 3 fouls for Carolina. Baycott, Z to the stripe for 2 shots.
Armando, great job there. He did a little dribble handoff with RJ. RJ got a good, clean look. But Armando kept going after the handoff. Hughley stepped up, and Armando was able to get behind him for the rebound. And then Hughley in a bad position. Just shouldn't have fouled him, but thankfully he didn't.
Baycott, though, misses the first free throw. Well, now Oklahoma's brought Godwin back to the bench. Instead, Luke Northweather, a 6'11 redshirt freshman from Jefferson City, Missouri, is going to check in, as Baycott does hit the second of the 2 free throws. So it's 32-24 Carolina. And Oklahoma's top 2 big guys on the bench, Godwin with 2 fouls, Hughley with 3. So an inexperienced player in Northweather in. Let's see if Carolina can take advantage on the other side. But right now it's Oklahoma with the basketball. Around a screen and driving in is Owe. Kind of double clutched it and missed. Ryan with the rebound. Coming front side for Carolina. Ryan's going to go coast to coast and finish with the left hand.
Armando able to seal off Northweather, be able to give him the layup there.
34-24. Heels back up 10. Largest advantage has been 12. 2:15 to go. First half. Carolina crowd comes to his feet here in Charlotte. McCollum. Switch has Baycott guarding him on the perimeter. Pitches in the corner left to Owe. Guarded by Trimble. Owe dribbles back out middle of the floor. Shot clock down to 6. McCollum has it for Oklahoma. Drives in, blocked away. Ingram came off the ball and swatted it out of bounds. Still 2 on the shot clock for the Sooners.
Great block by Ingram, just coming over help side, being able to. Trimble was in his legs. He couldn't really jump, so left it right there for Ingram.
2 on the shot clock. Oklahoma's going to have to do something quickly here. Uzan to throw it in. Still holding it. Gets it to Northweather. Blocked away by Baycott. To Trimble. Hangs in the air. Going to the rim the other side. And a foul is called.
Trimble, great job just getting the ball, pushing it. Armando with a great block on the other end. Trimble almost wanted to throw it to RJ for a 3, but kept going and showed some of the athleticism.
Suarez picked up the foul in transition. And that'll put Trimble to the free throw line. Carolina, 7 steals and 6 blocks in this game for Carolina. The Tar Heels came in averaging 5.5 steals, 4.5 blocks per game. Baycott already has 3 blocks in this game as Trimble is off on the free throw, off the back iron. Carolina is now 6 of 8 at the free throw line as a team. Trimble will get 1 more. He came into this game 68% on the season. Zayden High is going to come back in. He'll replace Baycott. So Baycott is going to come out. Oklahoma has made a switch as well, as they've gone small. So they've taken out really any true big man, as Trimble missed them both.
Interesting, Oklahoma went small and they took out Baycott. They put in basically 5 shooters, so trying to match up with them here the last 2 minutes.
So Trimble comes up empty at the free throw line. It's still a 10-point game, as a 3-pointer missed on the other side by Oklahoma. Owe, rebound by Ingram, good position. Ingram stops at the right wing in the front court, sends it out to Davis. Left side to Trimble. Carolina will reset R.J. Davis takes a peek at his head coach Hubert Davis, throwing up 2 fingers. R.J. drives in deep, gets wiped out underneath, and the ball will belong to Carolina. I'm not sure anybody's happy with that sequence, as 1, Davis thought he got fouled, and 2, I thought it clearly went off R.J. out of bounds.
I think that was one of those situations the ref missed a call and saw it went off of him, but we still got the ball. So
inbounds goes to R.J. Davis. Tar Heels will reset. Cormac Ryan thought, well, now he's going to take that good look from 3. Online, crawls off the iron. Man, that bounced on the rim and then hung there and rolled off. No good. Still a 10-point lead for Carolina, 34-24. On the other side, tough finish underneath by Jalen Moore. Zayden Hyde defending in the post, but Moore with a good finish off pass from the low right block. Less than a minute to go first half. Carolina up by 8, led by as many as 12 here in this half. Ingram fakes the dribble handoff to Davis. He'll try and back in from the right side. Still 12 on the shot clock. Ingram's pass is tipped into the backcourt. R.J. Davis can go get it. Takes a peek at the shot clock. Davis changes speeds, and he's wiped out as he drives right of the lane. He's going to stay down an extra moment, as that was a hard fall by Davis. Foul is on Owe, his second. Davis is still on the ground on his back. No trainer or anything yet, and now Davis will be helped up. He's holding his left elbow. RJ has a long shooting sleeve on that left hand. He, of course, is a right-handed shooter, but it looked like that left elbow was bothering him a bit.
That's a hard fall no matter how you look at it. He came down trying to get the ball up. You can't really protect yourself much, but able to get the foul. In some ways, I felt like he's fouled less on that one than the last possession.
First free throw good by Davis. Baycott will come back in, and High checks out. 29.5 seconds left, so the Sooners can hold for the last shot. If Davis makes this free throw, or if he misses it and they get a defensive board, they would be able to hold for the final shot of the half. Carolina up 9, 35-26. Davis with 9 to lead all scores, trying to become the first player for either team in double figures, and he does so by making both free throws. So it's a 10-point game. Largest lead's been 12. And Oklahoma in no hurry likely will hold for the final shot.
RJ's been relatively quiet, too. He had those 8 early points. Really hasn't scored much since then, but has been very involved in everything that we've had been going on.
Game clock down to 15. McCollum dribbling in the center jump circle. R.J. Davis giving him a good 7-8 feet of defense right now.
Going to get a middle pick and roll here.
Game clock down to 6. There's that screen. They try the lob, and they get the finish by Jalen Moore. Carolina will get it in, but Cormac Ryan's half-court heave is no good. Oklahoma diagnosed that final play for a while and executed to perfection as Moore got the alley-oop finish to get the deficit for the Sooners down to 8 at the break. So Carolina leads by as many as 12 in the first half. The Heels will take an 8-point advantage into the halftime locker room. Dave will take you through the Wells Fargo halftime show after this. 36-28, Carolina at the break from Learfield. So the Tar Heels lead 36-28, just about ready for the second half here in Charlotte. Before we get to that second half, let's get to our trusted choice of the game. Brought to you by the Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina, who want you to stay safe behind the wheel. You can put down your phone while driving, and let's have a hands-free NC. To learn more and find an agent near you, website trustedchoice.com/go heels. Tyler Zeller joining me, Jones Angel. Z, what do you think is going to be important for Carolina to trust here in the second half?
I think we just got to trust our defense. We got to continue to put pressure on them, make it difficult. We were able to create a lot of turnovers, block shots. I think if we continue to do that and then push the pace after that, I think we got a great chance in the second half.
Yeah, that's where Carolina was its best in that first half, was on the fast break after turnovers. Heels 13-0 advantage in fast break points, 14-5 advantage points off turnovers. 6 blocks, 7 steals in that first half for Carolina. Tar Heels were being out-rebounded pretty badly early. They got back within 4. Still, you'd like to see that number be better, of course, for Carolina, a team that traditionally is one of the best in the country in rebounding, and neither team shot well from 3. They were a combined 3 of 20 from three-point range in the first half. A lot of former Tar Heels here in Charlotte. Just a quick gaze around, and I'm not going to name everybody, of course, because I'll miss somebody, but George Lynch here, Phil Ford is in the house, Brendan Haywood here watching the Tar Heels, Dexter Strickland, now known as Baden Jackson, he's here as well. So a lot of different former Tar Heels. That's just a handful that are in the house in Charlotte tonight. It is going to be Oklahoma basketball to start the second half. So Oklahoma scored right at the end of the first half and now gets the ball to start the second half as well. And it will be a push shot off the window, no good, but an offensive rebound for Godwin and a foul called on Ingram. It's his second and first on Carolina this half, so it'll be another inbound for Oklahoma. The shot was missed by Uzan as he went right of the lane, fired it up too strong off the window, but Godwin able to sneak in that rebound. And now Oklahoma will get a wide open three off the inbound, and it's short. Rebound bounces once, but picked up by Baycott to R.J. Davis. Nice pitch ahead to Ryan, but he lost the ball.
Unfortunate off his foot there.
Yeah, he was on the angle dribble from the right side, was going to try and lay it up in transition. He would have, I think, seen some resistance there from Oklahoma, but it would have been a good opportunity for a score or a foul, but instead it is a turnover. Fifth of the day for Carolina. Oklahoma tries a lob. Godwin has to come down with it, but in doing so, he's on the baseline.
I think Oklahoma's done a great job trying to rebound on those pick and rolls. Armando's doing a great job in the pick and roll containing the ball, but once it's up on the rim, he's struggling to get back to block out. And those bigs are doing a great job on the weak side of rebounding.
That keeps you moving defensively, right? So harder to get your position as Cadeau, just a lazy pass taken away by Owe, and he dunks it in.
That looked like one of those plays you called and you just throw it because he's supposed to be open, and he was not.
36-30, so Carolina's kind of sleepwalking here with a couple of turnovers to start off the second half. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma's back within 6 after the Heels have led by as many as 12. R.J. Davis changes that, though, with the triple from the right sideline.
R.J. getting it rolling a little bit again. Hopefully he can start off the second half the way he started off the first half, just be able to get some good shots. But a much better three from him there rather than forcing him like he did a couple times in the first half.
He's the only Tar Heel to hit a three. Carolina is 3 of 11 from 3. Davis is 3 of 5. So Carolina back up 9 as the ball lost out of bounds by Oklahoma, but it was tipped by Carolina. Uzan was driving in. I think it was Cadeau who got a hand in there to poke it out of bounds, but regardless, it'll belong to the Sooners with 15 on the shot clock. Throwing it in is Uzan, gets it in the corner to McCollum. R.J. Davis right there on the catch.
They've run the same out-of-bounds underplay every time, running that corner three.
Tar Heels have seen teams do that a lot against them. Uzan with the shot clock getting low, the tough drive against Baycott. Hard finish, but a foul is called.
On Godwin, I believe.
I think it's on the rebound. The basket is going to count for Oklahoma as Uzan hit a tough runner. So the basket counts for Uzan, but the foul called on Godwin. That's his third.
Godwin trying to go aggressively to the offensive boards. Basically just threw Ryan and got the foul for it.
So now Godwin and Hughley, the two main big guys for Oklahoma, each have 3 fouls. Davis, a looping bounce pass to Baycott. Tough hook shot on the baseline, way off. And Oklahoma with the rebound. Sooners will try and push it quickly the other way. The ball's loose in the paint. Ryan with the effort play gets the steal. 3-on-2. Bounce pass to Baycott, and he's fouled trying to dunk it in. Foul's called on Owe. That's his third. So all of a sudden you've got 3 different Sooners with 3 fouls. As Owe, Hughley, and Godwin all have 3. Oklahoma's been called for 11 total in the game, but 9 of them have come on those 3 players. And so Armando Baycott to the free throw line for 2 shots.
I think it's really hard playing against Carolina, and that's why we do it, but we push the pace so fast. It's hard to get back. You're seeing Oklahoma have a lot of fouls in transition. Carolina's doing a great job pushing it. We got to continue to do that and put them in tough spots.
Baycott gets the rattle in on the first free throw. Hughley returns for Godwin. Owe will sit down as well, and Rivaldo Soares back in for Oklahoma. Second free throw for Baycott is in there. It hit the front iron and crawled over.
Crawled's the best word for it.
So he makes them both. He's now 3 of 4 at the stripe tonight. And the Heels back up 9, 41-32. Largest advantage has been 12. That was late in the first half. Carolina led by 8 at halftime. Hughley on the perimeter. Dribble handoff to McCollum. Sends it over to Moore, the Georgia Tech transfer. Back to McCollum in the center jump circle. McCollum gets a couple of screens. Long pass over on the right side to Uzan. Gets into the paint, and he's fouled on his shot.
Cadeau's had a problem with that on drives. He tries to body a little too much and picks up fouls that way. He's done a good job defending the ball. Sometimes he just tries to throw his body into him a little too much and picks up fouls like that.
Z, they called that on Ingram for helping, and that's a problem because that's 3 now on Ingram. So now you have Withers and Ingram each with 3. So 5 players between the two teams with 3 fouls. Uzan misses the first free throw.
Second foul on Ingram reaching in then on drives, which we were very successful with in the first half, being able to create steals, but just got to make sure we don't hit the hand along the way.
Yeah, so Ingram's been called for 2 of his 3 fouls this half. As both free throws missed, Ryan way up in the air for the rebound for Carolina. So it remains 41-32. Heels working in the half court. Oklahoma pushes it way out defensively, so R.J. Davis has to go get the ball near the timeline. He wraps around a screen, elevates for 3, and it was nothing but net.
He loves that 3. Coming off the pick and roll up high. He starts out, gets Armando to set it 2 or 3 feet beyond the three-point line. One dribble into it. Looks beautiful.
Davis now with 16, and Carolina's matched its largest lead of 12 at 44-32. That's 4 3-pointers now for Davis. Oklahoma on the other side. McCollum tries to lob a pass to Hughley. Ooh, lost it out of bounds. Cormac Ryan went over to double. He said, it didn't touch me, but Keith Kimball thought it did, so it will belong to Oklahoma. 14 on the shot clock for the Sooners.
Hughley did a great job sealing on the pick and roll. Armando was up high. Ryan did a great job of running under and tipping it away. See if Oklahoma runs this corner play again.
This time they throw it into Hughley and a quick handoff to McCollum. He'll kick it out. A 3-pointer knocked in by Jalen Moore. Moore, the Georgia Tech transfer, plays well. He has 9. That's above his season average of 8. And he has the Sooners back within 9. Cadeau, bounce pass to Baycott. Quick shot on the baseline. No good from the right side.
Felt like he just rushed at it. Armando just got to take his time and attack. He knows the double team's coming.
Boy, transition 3 missed badly by Soares. Carolina with the rebound. Cadeau the other direction for the Heels. He'll slow it up. Get it to Ingram in between the circles. Still a 9-point Carolina lead. Baycott just 2 of 6 from the floor tonight. R.J. Davis wants that high screen from Baycott. Gets it. Drives left sideline, but he's cut off there. To Baycott, right back to Davis. He's going to just see how hot he is. That one comes up short from the left wing.
Yeah, that one felt a little more rushed than the other 2.
Oklahoma in transition. McCollum pump fake gets Ryan in the air, but Ryan able to recover and force him to pass it away. And a foul offensively the other side as Moore got his elbow up in the face of R.J. Davis and will pick up the foul and turn it over to Carolina. Give a little half assist to Ryan on that one for recovering defensively to force the possession to continue. Turnovers have just befuddled Oklahoma tonight. That is 13 turnovers for the Sooners. Carolina has 16 points off those turnovers so far. 44-35 Carolina, 15:36 to go. Second half in Charlotte from Learfield. The game has lived in this 7 to 12 point range for most of it tonight. Carolina leads 44-35 with 15:36 to play in the second half, and the Heels will have the basketball when action resumes. We're brought to you by Modelo, proud to sponsor Carolina basketball. Modelo, an official beer of the Heels, and a reminder that after the game, we'll have our Old Dominion Best in the Game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. That's our player of the game feature, of course. And right now, R.J. Davis making a strong case for that. He's been living in that Old Dominion best in the game territory. He has 16 points to lead all scorers so far for Carolina.
Yeah, he's been great. Started the first half great, started the second half great here. And just making all the right plays. You know, he's forced a couple, but I'm not mad at him for it. He makes 2 in a row, and just wanted to see just how hot he was on the third one.
Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and Baycott, the 5 on the floor. Ryan going to get a good look from straight on. Look good the whole way, and he bangs it home for 3.
Finally get somebody else to make it 3.
There you go. He's the first the first player other than R.J. Davis to get a triple to drop. And it's back to a 12-point advantage for Carolina. Ryan also joins R.J. in double figures now with 10. The drive and the kick in the corner for Oklahoma, and they answered the triple. Dart hard, able to knock that one in.
Ryan had to go help side and then recover. There's only one person over there. Makes it real hard for him, but great job trying. Just didn't get back in time.
That's twice here recently that Carolina's hit a big 3, but Oklahoma's been able to answer. Baycott gets the bucket, and he'll draw the foul. Rolling off the screen, caught it, finished, and he'll have a chance for 3. And that foul's on McCollum. It's his second and 4th on Oklahoma. So Baycott will go to the free throw line to try and convert the 3-point play. It's an 11-point Tar Heel lead after Ryan hit a 3, then Darthart hit a 3 for Oklahoma. Now Baycott with the 2 and trying to get a third at the free throw line.
Armando on the roll was able to be lucky. I don't think he ever saw him, but he was late getting there.
That was short out of his hand from Baycott. He is 3 of 5 tonight at the free throw line and just 6 of his last 13 from the stripe after a really hot start from the free throw line this year. Tough 3 knocked in by Oklahoma, so the Sooners starting to warm up. That was Uzan. He had Baycott guarding him on a switch. Uzan 9 of 37 on the year coming in this game from 3, but he knocks it in. Oklahoma back within 8 at 49-41. Davis, long pass to Trimble in the corner. He'll try a triple. Why not? Everybody's knocking him home.
Just trading baskets with him right now. We got to find a way to get a stop down here.
Back to an 11-point lead at 52-41. Trimble has become so much more consistent. It's not going to be the first part of his game ever from out there, but he is a threat. And he knocks that one in. He's now 5 of 9 on the season. Driving left of the lane, Uzan, boy, I don't know how he didn't get called for a travel as he ends up getting to Jalen Moore. Missed the shot. Ingram didn't box out. Moore gets the offensive rebound. Tried to dunk it in, but it's going to be a basket interference because Moore hung on the rim when he dunked it to allow the basketball to rattle home. So after a messy sequence there, it ends up being a turnover to Carolina.
It's one of those rules that's kind of weird, but if you do hang on the rim and it doesn't go straight in, if you don't let go or whatever, it could pop the ball up. So it's offensive goaltending.
52-41, Carolina by 11, and with the basketball. Largest advantage tonight has been 12. R.J. Davis, nice hesitation, but his shot is blocked by Godwin left of the lane. Oklahoma will go the other way. R.J. Davis, though, hustling back, gets the steal. Tipped it to Ryan. Carolina in transition. Trimble gets to about 6 feet, comes up short, though, on the jumper, and a rebound foul on Carolina. Let's see if that's Ingram. It's 4, and it is.
Ingram coming in way too aggressively. Really had no chance of getting his hand on that ball. Just, tempting to put your hand in there and try to get it, but needed to hold off on that one. But great effort. Just got to be a little smarter with it when you got 3 fouls.
Cormac Ryan was trying to convince the officials that the foul was on him.
It's a good teammate. Sometimes you can try that. They usually don't get fooled by it, though.
So Ingram will have to sit with 4 fouls. Zayden High going to check in for Carolina. Still an 11-point lead for the Tar Heels. Ryan knocks it away from Owe, but Owe able to go and get it. Darthard has it now on the perimeter. Back out to Owe. Can't get by Ryan. Ryan moving his feet, now clapping at Owe, liking his defensive effort. Owe going to try and take him to the basket, and it's going to be a blocking foul called on Ryan. And it will be a couple free throws coming for Owe.
I thought Ryan got there, but that's a 50-50 call. So, I didn't go either way. Ryan, great defense, though.
Doug Sermons, the man who made the call. And now Sermons is going to come. Boy, I've never seen that. Doug Sermons had to get ushered away by Keith Kimball because Sermons was barking at Cormac Ryan. There's going to be 2 free throws for Owe.
I think Ryan may have been talking a little more than he was liking, so just trying to calm him down a little bit.
Foul on Ryan is first, the 4th on Carolina. And the first free throw good by Oway. So it's a 10-point game, 52-42.
Interesting, Oklahoma has not run the 1-2-2 yet this half. They really didn't have a lot of effect. They weren't real effective with it in the first half. Interesting, they just got rid of it in the second, though.
9-point game as both free throws good. Double team comes to Baycott in the post. Carolina able to get out of there. Baycott passes to Trimble. Trimble drives it on the right, cut off there, sends it out to R.J. Davis. Shot clock down to 10.
Godwin.
And a foul off the ball.
Godwin fighting with Armando in the post.
That's his fourth, Z. So Ingram has 4 for Carolina. Withers has 3. Now Godwin picks up his 4th. Oway and Hughley each have 3. Hughley will replace Godwin. And Carolina will see the shot clock go to 20.
They've done a great job on Armando. Armando hadn't had a lot of open looks, but Armando's done a great job putting him in foul trouble. They've never really had a good rhythm going at the 5 position.
Baycott 9 points and 6 rebounds. R.J. Davis bounces it into Baycott. The ball was tipped away, but Davis able to run it down. Still 15 on the shot clock as R.J. Davis has it out near the timeline. One-handed push pass over to Baycott. He's going to try a corner. 3!
There we go.
Baycott, his second three-pointer of the year. There was an audible groan in the arena when he shot it. That quickly turned into an explosion.
That was a no, yeah!
I think he's hit both those 3 with Z in attendance. We got to get Z here more often. Carolina up 12, 55-43. 10 on the shot clock for Oklahoma. Hughley, he'll try and answer the triple. Does not do so. Rebound Ryan. He hugs it for a moment. Waits for traffic to clear. Cormack coming front side on the left for Carolina. To a trailing Baycott. He'll send it out timeline to R.J. Davis to set up. 11:45 on the second half game clock. Shot clock's down to 15 as Davis has it still out in the middle of the floor. Crossover. One-on-one out top. Davis drives, hangs, pushes it up and in from the left. Oklahoma needs a timeout.
That was a difficult shot. He went to the left and, I don't know, kind of hovered in the air and threw it up with the right. That was a really, really tough shot.
R.J. Davis with 8 this half and 18 for the game. He leads all scorers. The Tar Heels have their largest lead of 14. 57-43 the score. Oklahoma's timeout will stretch to a full 11:33 to play in Charlotte from Learfield.
We're on the road with Honda dealers of the Carolinas. If you're a Tar Heel fan, don't just cheer for the best, drive the best. Drive a Honda. Better hurry, they're going fast. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
Largest lead of the night for Carolina. It's 14 at 57-43 with 11:33 to go. Food Lion, proud to sponsor the score to give more program for each free throw the Heels make this today and this season. Food Lion Feeds will donate 100 meals to a local area food bank. Couple of Lenovo stats brought to you by Lenovo, a global technology leader that has called North Carolina home since 2005. Visit Lenovo.com. Lenovo, smarter technology for all. Both teams shooting well this half. Carolina 7 of 12, including a red-hot 5 of 6 from 3. Oklahoma's 5 of 10 from the field and 3 of 6 from three-point range. So both teams shooting well. 15 of Carolina's 21 points this half have been scored by either Davis or Baycott. They each have been able to score well. Davis with 8 this half, 18 for the game, as a running dunk on the other side by Oway. Carolina got lost after the high screen, and then the Heels, well, where's the inbounds tip? No, they just turn it over on the inbound. So Carolina gives up an easy dunk and then turns it over. Zayden High's inbounds taken, didn't touch anybody and just went into the Oklahoma bench. So the wheels kind of fall off there in 14 seconds for Carolina and will send us right to another break. Heels still up 12, but Oklahoma with a little juice after the dunk and the forced turnover. So we'll take yet another break. 11:19 to go now in the ball game. 57-45 Carolina from Learfield. High drama during the timeout as the T-shirt cannon shot one up here to our location. To say maybe Z's let his hands go a little bit since his playing days are over. Couldn't catch it, but we did pick it up off the bounce. So good news there. Carolina up 12, 57-45 11:19 to go. Celebrate the season with gifts, deals, and holiday feels. Find perfect presents for everybody and every budget. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today. And we're brought to you in part as well by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, official health insurance partner of Carolina Athletics, believes an inclusive community is a healthy community. Here for the Tar Heels, here for all. Tyler, what happened on that play? Carolina gave up an easy dunk for Owe right before that then turnover. What happened down there?
So I don't know if it was a draw up or not, but they threw it to Owe at the top of the key. He went to hand it off. Both of our guys jumped out on the guy who didn't get the ball, and he went down the lane and dunked it.
A little miscommunication defensively for Carolina. Oklahoma having some trouble getting it in. Finally does to Hughley. And the Sooners will work in the half court with Carolina up 12. Largest advantage for the Heels has been 14. Shot clock down to 9. Oklahoma still passing around the perimeter. Uzan guarded by Ryan. Around a screen, gets caught in the air, dumps it down to Hughley. Can't finish. And high in traffic gets the rebound.
Zayden coming over to help, challenging the shot and getting the rebound. Great job.
57-45, Heels by 12. R.J. Davis dribbling in the front court on the left, waiting for some movement off the ball. Pitches top of the key to Trimble, right back to Davis. And now Doug Sermons has called a timeout to stop the action and is warning the Oklahoma bench.
They had two assistant coaches on the court trying to tell them what was about to happen. They were trying to double RJ off the pick and roll, which they never actually got that far. But there were two assistants 3-4 feet onto the court.
Doug Sermons did not like that.
And he's back up.
So with 16 on the shot clock, Carolina will inbound it. Cormac Ryan gets it into R.J. Davis near the center jump circle. Dribbling to the left side, one-handed pass to Ryan, right back to Davis. Drives into the paint, hangs in the air, banks it off the window, won't go.
That one was easier than the last one he made.
Oklahoma the other way. Uzan gets deep, finds Hughley, and Hughley's fouled as he comes down the center of the paint. It's either going to be High or Baycott. It'll be called on High. His first. Fifth on Carolina, and that'll put Hughley, who's been a very good free throw shooter for anybody, but particularly for a big, at 87%. He's 27 of 31 on the season. Jalen Washington's going to get up. It'll be his first action of the second half. It'll come after Hughley's first of two free throw attempts.
And Armando's holding something on his leg. I'm not sure what happened. He got kneed or something, but it doesn't look like he's hurt, but may have a little Charlie horse or something needs a little break for him.
Baycott out, Washington in. Hughley missed the first free throw off the back iron. Now Ryan will check out and Cadeau enters. So Cadeau, Davis, Trimble, all three guards, along with High and Washington in there for Carolina. Still 57-45 with 10:25 to go in the second half. Second free throw from Hughley. That's no good. High saves the rebound on the baseline to R.J. Davis.
Zayden just being active, always having his hand on the ball, finding a way to get the rebound.
Davis on the sideline right to Trimble. Extra pass goes in the corner left to Cadeau. Dribbles up the sideline. Carolina having trouble getting going this possession, at least getting towards the basket. As R.J. Davis to Trimble. Shot clock down to 8. Trimble spins into the paint, has to come back out of there. Shot clock's getting late. It's down to 5. To R.J. Davis. Going to have to make some magic happen. Long distance three. Off the back iron. No. There's High battling for the rebound, but he's going to get called for the foul.
I'm not sure who he fouled, but Oklahoma had a few guys end up on the ground. But Oklahoma's doing a great job in the pick and roll on RJ. They're double teaming it basically. Coming out, Hughley's chasing the ball, 2 or 3 dribbles off of it and then recovering. But really making it hard on RJ and making somebody else score.
Yeah, that possession really never went anywhere for Carolina. Ryan quickly returns. Trimble got a little shaken up. He's gone to the end of the Carolina bench. Remember, he had that hip pointer earlier in the season, and he's holding that hip as the jumper missed on the other side by McCollum. Doug Halverson, the Tar Heel trainer, looking at Trimble. Carolina does have the rebound after that miss by Oklahoma. 12-point lead for the Heels, 57-45. Largest advantage has been 14. Cadeau with the bigger player, Hughley, guarding him, turned it over. Tried to drive and pitch it out to Washington. The pass was off the mark. Carolina does a nice job recovering in transition, but a foul is called.
Hughley actually did very well guarding Cadeau. He gave him 2 or 3 different moves, just stayed down on his feet, and then when Cadeau went up, he realized he just wasn't big enough to get it over Hughley.
Foul on Davis, his second. and that's going to result in free throws for Uzan. He'll have 2 shots. That's also the 7th foul on Carolina this half. So it will be the 1-and-1 for Oklahoma. And a free throw missed.
Very early to be in the bonus already, so hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. Thankfully, being up by 12, it's not a big deal, but just need to be a little cleaner with when we swipe or trying to find a way to not foul.
Uzan ends a free throw drought for Oklahoma. They had missed a couple in a row as he hits the second of the 2-shot opportunity to make it 57-46. Carolina has not scored in more than 2 minutes as the Tar Heels have dried up a little bit offensively. Currently up 11, but they've led by as many as 14. R.J. Davis gets a good screen from Jalen Washington in the corner to High, out to Cadeau. They leave him alone. Clean look for 3 is no good. High tips the rebound out of the hands of Soares, but it goes out of bounds. So Carolina a little bit chilly here offensively as things have slowed down. As Tyler told you, Oklahoma making a concerted effort to get the ball out of R.J. Davis's hands, or if it's in his hands, to pressure him well away from the basket.
They're also not leaving Ryan, which makes it tough.
Entry pass to Hughley, knocked away. Another turnover for the Sooners. Turns into a run out for Cadeau, who just bodies the defender out of the way for 2.
And I feel like that's where Cadeau's at his best. When he's going downhill in transition, he can finish at the rim really, really well if he's got that head of speed.
Soares got banged to the ground trying to defend on the play. Owe drives in, and a foul is called. That might be RJ, and that's 3 on R.J. Davis.
2 quick ones on him here.
Yeah, and the biggest issue here is Carolina doesn't necessarily have a ton of fouls, although that's 8 of them now in this half, but it's who they're on. Davis with 3, Ingram with 4. Those are 2 of your starters. Also, Withers has 3 that he picked up in the first half.
And RJ's a tough one because if we lose him, Cadeau's obviously a great point guard, but RJ's threat of being able to score and shoot really stretches the defense. When he comes out of the game, it makes it a little more challenging, especially for extended periods of time.
Owe to the line, so he'll have 2 shots. Oklahoma has taken 8 free throws this half, now 9, and 17 for the game. They are, after that one went in, 11 of 17. Carolina's 10 of 14 at the stripe. That make by Owe makes the score 59-47. Carolina by 12 with 8:25 to go.
You just keep getting the feeling like Oklahoma's just hanging around, and Carolina needs to put them away. Otherwise, this could be one of those games that gets a little closer than you like at the end.
Heels going right to left as we see it here in the second half as Cadeau crosses over. He's fouled on his runner. So some free throws coming now for the Tar Heels. Foul is on McCollum, and that's his 3rd. 6th on Oklahoma, so the Heels will be in the bonus the rest of the way. And the foul situation for the Sooners has 4 on Godwin, 3 on Owe, 3 on McCollum, and 3 on Hughley. So that's 3 starters and one of your top reserves as Cadeau gets the roll on the free throw. Trimble returns, still kind of holding his hip as he does so, to give R.J. Davis a breather right before the under 8-minute timeout. 8:15 to go in the second half. Cadeau more clean on the second free throw, so he made them both. 61-48.
The good part is Trimble's still more athletic than most people on the floor, even if he's a little injured.
And another turnover for the Sooners. It was just Trimble's ball pressure against McCollum that forced the miscue. That is the 17th turnover for Oklahoma. They came in averaging 13 per ball game. And the Tar Heel defense continues to give Oklahoma all kinds of fits.
They're doing a great job just pressuring the ball. Just up the court and then in the pick and rolls in the half court. Just not letting them get comfortable in any way.
Cadeau dribbling on the left wing. Ooh, crossover, gets to the rim, misses, but Jalen Washington cleans it up with the dunk.
Great drive by Cadeau, and then Jalen Washington just staying active. His man went over to help and able to clean it up on the miss.
It's a 15-point Tar Heel lead now at 63-48. Owe just falling down in the paint. They going to call a foul on that one? They sure are on Cadeau. As Owe bailed out a bit as he went into the lane with no plan. But the foul's called on Cadeau, his first, and will result in a 1-and-1 for Owe when we come back. So, Carolina 63, Oklahoma 48. The Sooners are hanging in by getting to the line. They have just one field goal in the last nearly 7 minutes of game action, including none in the last 3:40. But they're getting to the stripe to at least stay within shouting distance. Heels up 15, 63-48, 7:44 to go. Second half from Learfield.
We're on the road with Honda dealers of the Carolinas. If you're a Tar Heel fan, don't just cheer for the best, drive the best. Drive a Honda. Better hurry, they're going fast. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
Cadeau, Trimble, Ryan, High, Washington. That'll be the five on the floor for Carolina coming out of the timeout. 7:44 to play. Heels 63, Oklahoma 48. Sooners will have a 1-1 opportunity for Otega Owe when action resumes. For more than 25 years, Top of the Hill Restaurant and Brewery has been a pre- and post-game tradition in Chapel Hill. Handcrafted beer, great food and atmosphere. It is where Tar Heels come to celebrate. A couple of key numbers on this stat sheet. Stats brought to you by Lenovo. Lenovo, smarter technology for all. Carolina's been really good in the open court today. 17-3. Heels with the advantage in fast break points. Carolina also has 23 points off of 17 Oklahoma turnovers. Those two numbers have felt like a big reason why Carolina is up by 15 with 7:44 to go. Owe, it is a 1-1 for him, and he gets front iron, backboard, and through. So Owe has been very good at the line tonight. He is now 7 of 8 at the stripe for 17 points. He is the leading scorer for Oklahoma, and he makes them both. He's the leading scorer for Oklahoma tonight and on the season. As some pressure from the Sooners, Cadeau with a nice pass to Cormac Ryan to break it. Heels had numbers, but elect to circle out and run some offense up 13.
Brought back the 1-2-2, but much more aggressive, going full court rather than three-quarter kind of token pressure.
Yeah, saw some of that. That was a great word for it. Token pressure in the first half. Oklahoma looking for a turnover on that one, but didn't get it. Shot clock's down to 7. Cadeau, boy, a tough step-back three. That's short. And rebound, Oklahoma. Carolina never really got moving on that possession, and R.J. Davis and Armando Bacot will immediately come off the bench for the Heels. Owe trying to back in against Cadeau. Nothing there. Sends it out. Dribbling in is Moore. Back to Owe. His tough two off the back iron, but an offensive rebound for Oklahoma, and then a foul called on Carolina. I think it's on High again. Nope. Washington.
Jalen just got pushed in there. He's got to be a little stronger. Gave up the rebound and then just reached in after that. So
most importantly, or most significantly, even though that's the first foul on Washington, that's 10 now on Carolina. So 2 shots for the final 6:58 for Oklahoma on every foul. Carolina's been whistled for 10, Oklahoma 6 into this half. 7 of Oklahoma's last 9 points have been at the free throw line. That one from Jalen Moore, though, is short. And the Heels take the opportunity to make multiple subs. Here come Davis, Ingram, and Bacot. So the Heels will have 4 of their 5 starters out there as Cadeau, High, and Washington sit down. So Carolina's going to have Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, and Bacot as the 5 on the floor. As Moore's second free throw rattles out. Oklahoma, a very good free throw shooting team, but has been pretty pedestrian tonight, 14 of 22. A foul off the ball is going to turn it over. Bacot called away from the ball for the foul. That won't result in free throws, but it will give it to Oklahoma.
The same action we ran earlier in the first or second half there that they were able to pick off when Cadeau tried to throw it to RJ. Armando trying to make sure he got a piece of the guy this time was basically just walked into the guy, which is a moving screen every time.
Well, it feels like, and this will be an exaggeration, it feels like half of Bacot's fouls are on moving screens. I know it's not that many, but it sure feels like he has a bunch, and that one ends up in a 3 for McCollum. So Oklahoma not done here. They're within 10 at 63-53. Carolina needs to finish this out strong. The Heels have led by as many as 15, but the advantage is down to 10. Baycott working for position down low. Ingram gets it to him. Double team comes. Baycott to Ingram. Heels working around the perimeter. Ends up to Trimble for the corner three. It's short. Ingram with the offensive rebound, though. He'll muscle it back up and in on the right baseline.
Good to see Ingram being active. It's really hard to sit out that long with those 4 fouls. Comes back in, gets a rebound, impacts the game quickly.
Heels back up 12 with 6 minutes to go, 65-53. Sooners working on the perimeter. Uzan dribbles all the way through on the baseline left to right, circles back out. Oklahoma will try another three. Oh, a lucky bounce as Owe, it almost got stuck on the back rim and then fell in. That's another three.
And I'm not sure why we closed out that short on Owe. Owe's shooting the ball extremely well from three, so hopefully we don't continue to do that.
Oklahoma's 5 of 8 this half from three, and they're within 9 at 65-56. Heels trying to get it to Baycott. They do in the post. One dribble, pitches out to Ingram. He'll try and answer the triple. Count it!
Baycott, great job on that. He takes one dribble, knowing where the double team's going to come. As soon as he takes a step, throws it straight out to Ingram for the three.
Back to a 12-point Carolina lead. Driving in and finishing is McCollum.
And unfortunately, that seems to be what we're doing right now. We're just trading baskets, letting them hang around that 10 points. We got to be careful because they hit a couple threes. It could be a game very quickly.
Heels up by 10, 68-58. Ingram, who has the last 5 for Carolina, picks up his dribble, has to send it out to R.J. Davis near the timeline. Davis gets a high screen, dribbles to the left sideline. Long cross-court pass goes corner right to Ryan. Ryan, jab step, pulls up for three. No. That was a forced shot, but he had to do it with the shot clock so low. 4 possession for Carolina. Oklahoma can cut into this 10-point lead with a basket here. They'll try another triple. Online the whole time. Dart hard knocks it in. Oklahoma is 10 of 18 shooting this half, including 6 of 9 from 3. That's got them back within 7 at 68-61.
This is the danger of letting a team hang around. They get a couple shots, they feel good about themselves, and they're playing great defense on us, making it difficult.
R.J. Davis driving hard, hanging in the air, just throws it up wildly, no good. Baycott gets the rebound, and then he is fouled by Godwin. Foul on Godwin is his 5th. He will foul out with 3:56 to go. It's going to put Baycott at the line for a 1-and-1 after this break, and they will be important ones to try and slow down this momentum for the Sooners, who have hit 4 consecutive shots, including 3 3-pointers, to get back within 7 after the Heels had led this by as many as 15. So Baycott at 1-and-1 as Godwin fouls out for the first time this year. 3:56 to go. Heels up, but just 7 now from Learfield. Carolina led 63-48 with 7:52 to go. Since then, Oklahoma, though, has outscored the Heels 13-5. They are within 7 with 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go. Baycott going to the line for a 1-and-1 as Godwin fouls out for Oklahoma, but it's just the 7th team foul on the Sooners. So 3:56 to go. Timeouts. Heels have 3. Sooners have 2. Fouls. Sooners are in the double bonus as Carolina's been whistled for 11 fouls. Carolina's in the bonus as that's the 7th foul on Oklahoma. Possession arrow belongs to Carolina. So a big 1-and-1 here for Baycott as the Heels trying to slow down this Oklahoma push. And Baycott steps to the line and hits a big one. So he'll get the back half. It's now 69-61. Heels up by 8.
Yeah, we kind of hit that point in the game. If he can make this one, it'd be big. But we really need 1 or 2 stops in a row, kind of take away this momentum from Oklahoma.
Yeah, 4 straight field goals made for the Sooners.
Yeah, if they continue that, they can get it down to 5, and they feel good about it. We get a couple stops, get it back up to that 12-14. It makes it really, really hard to come back.
Nice job by Baycott stepping up and hitting 2 big free throws. He now has 13, make it 14 in the game. He's passed Antoine Jamison for 8th all-time in Carolina scoring. Owe trying to drive on Ingram, cut off there, has to send it back out to Hughley. Oklahoma resets. Uzan Driving to the left elbow, picks up that dribble. Carolina closes him down, has to kick it out to the center jump circle to McCollum. McCollum splits a double team, gets deep, and able to lay it in.
At least there's only a 2 instead of a 3, but still a little too easy.
Yeah, 5 straight field goals for the Sooners.
Took a long time, though, so hopefully we can continue that, run the clock here.
70-63. Carolina's lead is 7. It's been as large as 15. Tar Heels struggling to get stops right now and close the door on the Sooners. Cormac Ryan dribbles into the right corner. A double team is there. Bounces down low to Baycott. Has it blocked from behind by Hughley. Baycott going up for the layup and couldn't finish. And then a foul is called on the other side on Cadeau. So if both these free throws go in, even if one just goes in, it'll be a 2-possession game. As with 3:01 to go, the Sooners are within 7.
Yeah, great play by Carolina to be able to get the ball to Baycott so close. Hughley just made an awesome play coming from behind. No way he could have seen him. On the other end, Cadeau actually in a good defensive position, just got bodied up a little too much and fouled him.
Owe has made every free throw he's attempted this half. He's now 9 of 10 in the game from the free throw line. 7 of 7 this half, and it is a 6-point game. Carolina's led by as many as 15. 3:01 to go. And now it's a 5-point game, so this feels like a critical possession. Owe now up to 23 points, leading all scorers. Yeah. Carolina has not trailed tonight, up by 5, but needs points.
And really, Oklahoma's done a great job. We got no rhythm right now. We just got to find a way to get a tough bucket here.
Ingram between the circles to R.J. Davis for 3. Knocked it home from the right wing. If you need a bucket, who else?
RJ's done it all year. Comes through for us.
73-65. Other side, McCollum pitches out to Darthard. Darthard drives baseline, sends it out to Owe. To McCollum again between the circles. McCollum, switch has Baycott guarding him. He's going to try a mile-long 3, nothing but backboard. Great. And R.J. Davis picks up the rebound off the floor.
Great stop by Carolina. A lot of pressure, really, really difficult shot. Gives you a little more confidence so we can close this out now, up 8 with 2 minutes left.
Oklahoma had scored on 6 straight possessions before that miss. Heels up 73-65. Davis dribbling in the center jump circle with 2 minutes to go. 10 on the shot clock. Davis. Crossover. Goes left, now goes right. Pulls up right of the lane. His runner won't go. Rolled off the rim. It's going to be a 2-on-1 the other way for Oklahoma, and they finish with McCollum, and the Sooners take a timeout. So not only did Carolina not score, but Oklahoma got an easy run out on the other side to get within 6 at 73-67. And it will be a timeout for Oklahoma. Basketball to Carolina. We'll break 10 seconds. Station ID down the lines on the Tar Heels Sports Network. Jones Angel, Tyler Zeller with you here in Charlotte. We're joined on our concourse level seats with Adam Lucas helping us out with stat work. Ben Alexander, our chief network engineer. Dave Nathan, John Essick in our Tar Heels Sports Network studios. Heels led by as many as 15, but Oklahoma has made 6 of its last 7 shots. And the Sooners have whittled that advantage down to 6, 73-67. 23 points for Otega Owe, 14 for Javian McCollum. Carolina led by 21 R.J. Davis points. Baycott has 14, and Cormac Ryan with 10. Heels come out with Cadeau, Davis, Ryan, Ingram, and Baycott. 1 timeout left for Oklahoma, 3 for Carolina. Sooners in the double bonus, Heels in the bonus, possession arrow to Carolina. Ingram gets it into Davis, quickly to Baycott. He'll pitch it ahead to Cadeau, and Carolina does get it into the front court. Oklahoma not feeling the need to foul just yet, down 6 with 1:33 to go. Cadeau dribbling in the center jump circle, burning clock. Shot clock down to 12.
Want a long possession here, just be able to run as much time as possible.
Ingram now on the left sideline. Shot clock's down to 5. Carolina really hadn't done anything. Ingram loses it, gets it back. He's going to have to shoot and banks it home from the left side.
Oh, they called a shot.
Well, the officials are going to want to look at it as Ingram was able to bank it in. We'll see here as they'll go under the hood. in real time, it felt like he got it off, but we'll just have to wait and see.
It did. I think he got it off in good time, but they're going to look at it.
Take your Tar Heel tailgate to the next level, Z, as they go under the hood for this replay. And they've already looked at it and said, yes, that it was good. So 75-67. Take your Tar Heel tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer in the Carolinas today. Wasn't a real clean possession, but it ends up with 2 points. Ingram's hit some big buckets this half for Carolina. He has 7 now in the half and 11 for the game.
He has, and the possessions are going to start getting limited here, so it'll be interesting how quickly Oklahoma tries to score here. They need to get a good shot, but you also don't want to take a lot of time, so hopefully Carolina, we can drag them out, run as much time off the clock as possible here.
Carolina's just going to let Oklahoma let the ball roll all the way to half court. 1:12 to go as Oklahoma now has it in the half court with the Heels up 8, 75-67. Oweh steps on the baseline. The defensive Trimble just wouldn't let him go anywhere, and they turn it over again for Oklahoma. That is 18 turnovers tonight.
Great substitution by Coach Davis, putting in Trimble on that possession, taking out Cadeau, and then putting Cadeau right back in for offense here.
1:04 to go. 75-67. Carolina by 8.
Oklahoma in their 1-2-2 press again, trying to create a turnover here.
Heels have 3 timeouts, and they've got to take it, or one of those 3, as Cormac Ryan was the inbounder and just didn't feel like he had a good option there and ended up taking the first of 3 timeouts. Now, if Oklahoma needs to foul with Carolina up 8 with 1:04 to go, you're getting into that territory. It would be just a 1-and-1. Obviously, for Carolina, R.J. Davis or Cormac Ryan would be your top 2 options. Davis came into this game at 94% on the season. Ryan came into the game at 92%. Davis 2 of 2 tonight. Ryan 1 of 1. If you're Oklahoma, I would assume Cadeau would be the man you would like to foul, as he came into this game shooting 54.5% at the stripe, although he is 2 of 2 tonight. Ingram, 61%. He is also 2 of 2 tonight. 1:04 to go. Carolina up 75-67. They've led by as many as 15 against Oklahoma tonight, closing out this really difficult stretch of 5 ranked opponents in 6 games. Carolina owns a couple of wins against the ranked opponents in this stretch, defeating Arkansas and Tennessee. So they've been tripped up here in back-to-back contests against Connecticut and Kentucky, both competitive good games, but games that Carolina came up short. Tar Heels trying to close this one out, but still 64 seconds to go. Z, what's important here on the inbound?
I think just make sure you get it inbounds, get a good, clean catch. You know, we can always call another timeout. We have plenty left. I think just find a way to get the ball inbounds. They're going to look like they're playing man-to-man this time, full court, trying to pressure up a little bit. Just try to get a clean catch here.
It is a spot throw-in for Carolina, which was a little high, but Ingram able to bring it in. He pitches to Cadeau, and there's that foul. Soares takes it on Cadeau, so a 1-and-1 for Cadeau. That's just the 8th foul on Oklahoma, so even on the next foul the Sooners have, if it's not a shooting foul, it would be just another 1-and-1. That only took 3 seconds off the clock.
That was a little close for comfort, though. Ingram tipped it. You know, if he, I don't know, whoever's around it, if they grab it, there's nobody between them and the basket for 2 points, get it down to 6. So need to be a little cleaner with it, but luckily on that we were able to get away with it.
Big 1-and-1 for Cadeau, and he steps up and knocks it home.
Huge free throw. He makes this one, got to start feeling better about it. Can't give up a quick 3 on the other end. If you give up a quick layup, it's not as big of a deal. We can match him with free throws, but just no good clean looks from 3 from here on out.
76-67 after Cadeau makes the first. Carolina's going to take all rebounders off the block to try to make sure to avoid any easy runouts for Oklahoma. Cadeau misses the second, so he goes 1 of 2. 1 minute left. Carolina up by 9. 76-67. Oklahoma deliberate in this possession despite the fact that the clock is in Carolina's favor. Driving in McCollum. Tough runner is short. Rebound tipped out to R.J. Davis at the free throw line, and he'll get fouled by McCollum.
Great defensive possession. Nothing easy. Really difficult shot. Got to start feeling good about where we're at now.
The foul on McCollum, his 4th. It's the 9th on Oklahoma. So it will be a 1-and-1 for R.J. Davis with 43.9 seconds to go. Heels bring in Trimble again for Cadeau, making the offense-defense switch there, or in this case, defense for offense.
And Oklahoma goes really small, taking out Hughley, getting in as many shooters as possible.
R.J. Davis, got to feel good with him at the stripe as he swishes it home. Davis now up to 22 points. He now has 183 points in the last 7 games.
That's impressive.
Make it 184 as he makes them both. 78-67, Carolina by 11. The driving layup on the other side is good by Uzan.
Layup's not a big deal.
Cormac Ryan is fouled as he gets the inbounds.
As long as we can keep making free throws, you're up 10. You're up 9 here, but you were up 11 before that layup. Make these 2 up 11 again. You got a lot of. There's not many possessions left in the game, so they're going to have to start shooting threes soon. Unless we start missing free throws.
And that was a big foul as well, Z, because that was on McCollum, and that's his 5th.
That's huge.
So he fouls out with 14 points, including 9 in the second half. He fouls out for the first time in his career. It does so with 36.8 seconds to go. And it will put Ryan at the free throw line for 2 shots. Ryan has been a very good free throw shooter this season at 92%, 23 of 25 coming into tonight. And he has made his only attempt this evening. 78-69, Carolina by 9 with 36.8 to go. Heels will have Davis, Trimble, Ryan, Ingram, Baycott on the floor. And again, it's Ryan at the line for 2 shots. Heels will take all potential rebounders off the block.
You've got to be really careful with Owe. He's really the only one that can score by himself without anybody else driving or kicking to him. So you just got to make sure you keep him contained.
That's a rare miss for Ryan as he comes up short. That's just the 3rd free throw he's missed all year. And remember, one of his now 3 misses was on purpose. That was at the end of the Villanova game.
That's right.
It is a 2-shot opportunity, though, so he is going to get the second shot regardless. That one looks much better, and it is in to make it a 10-point game at 79-69. Carolina again. Cardinals going to go zone now for this possession. Oklahoma tries the 3, can't make it. Rebound tipped out by Trimble. He and Owe were battling for it. 29.4 seconds to go. Heels up 10.
Went 2-3 zone, but they're very stretched out, sitting on the 3-point line, basically trying to force them to drive.
Long inbounds. Goes to the right wing. Extra pass into the corner. It's missed on the 3, and the rebound to Cormac Ryan. He's going to get fouled by Suarez and will make the trip down to the free throw line again with just 22.6 seconds to go. Well, Carolina came into this game knowing that it had a difficult opponent and that it needed another quality win through this difficult stretch of pre-conference action, and they are 22.6 seconds away from getting it. Now up 79-69, 2 shots for Ryan.
It was great to see tonight. We came out, started off quick, were able to maintain that 10-point lead. Love to see them, take that up to 15 or 20 here at the end, but really did a great job just staying consistent the whole game. Kentucky, we kind of fell on the opposite side where we couldn't get over the hump. Tonight we're able to do that and didn't let them catch up with us.
Both free throws good by Ryan. Got a lot of iron on both of them, but they both went in. Again, zone for Carolina. Oklahoma tries the 3, no good. A dunk putback won't go either. Baycott a little shaken up on that dunk putback attempt as he got elbowed in the head. He's going to stay back, but Carolina's going to dribble it out, it appears, as Oklahoma will not foul. So Carolina needed a quality win heading into the holidays, and they never trail in Charlotte, defeating the 7th-ranked Sooners by the final score of 81-69, getting a very nice victory to head into the Christmas break. Carolina improves to 8-3 on the season with a couple of wins that are going to travel all the way to that NCAA tournament time Oklahoma suffers its first defeat of the season. They fall to 10-1 on the year. We're going to head to break. Dave will take you through the Coke postgame report, get some thoughts from Z on this one. I'll go get an audience with Coach Davis and more. No better way to send it to break than to say Carolina wins at 81-69. See you later, Big Grits.
Attention Tar Heel fans, if you've had any alcohol as a part of your game day activities, make sure you don't get behind the wheel. There are more ways than ever to get home safely. You can call a friend a cab, take a bus, or app your ride as the Tar Heels head home happy. 81-69 winners tonight over Oklahoma. First loss of the season for the Sooners, and in the fourth ever meeting between these two programs, Carolina now stands at 4-0 against OU. Dave Nathan here in the Tar Heel Sports Network studios. Tyler Zeller on the scene in Charlotte where the Tar Heels win by 12. And, partner, this was the kind of win that Carolina just didn't have enough of last year to solidify a resume. And I just don't think you can underscore the importance enough of getting a win like this in December if you've got NCAA tournament aspirations.
I 100% agree. I think, having lost Connecticut, Kentucky, and then this game seemed kind of vital to our NCAA hopes. Just being able to have those three, or not have those three as losses, being able to have one as a win really helps, and then being able to add the other wins that we had before that, it really gives us a good resume going into ACC play. So if we can have a good showing in the ACC, I feel like our odds are very, very good, and hopefully we can continue to build on this.
Carolina with the win improves to 8-3. Partner, RJ Davis had a really off night. He only scored 23 today. What was going on with RJ?
Actually, I think it was more of what Oklahoma did to him. They did a great job he came out, started off the second half like a ball of fire, and then really Oklahoma changed their pick and roll coverage. They chased him, double teamed him, basically until he passed it. They had two people on him. So they did a great job, kind of made our offense a little more stagnant and didn't give him many opportunities to score. And then on top of that, doubling Armando, they really were kind of begging somebody else to beat them. Thankfully, we were able to put together enough buckets to be able to stay ahead.
So, R.J. Davis, the string of 26 or more point games ends at 5, but this is his 7th consecutive game with at least 23, and that's a stretch that goes all the way back to Villanova as Carolina beats Oklahoma 81-69. Harrison Ingram, Z, only Tar Heel in double figures all 11 games. He finishes with 11, and Porter Moser talked about it in pregame. He's just such a dynamic player that you have to account for on both ends of the floor. To go with the 11 points, 7 rebounds, fought some foul trouble, but played hard and continues to be a really good pickup for Carolina in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I really like Ingram. He's a guy who the stats don't even tell the whole picture of what he does. I mean, he's a guy who he had 4 fouls, came in, and Oklahoma scored a couple times in a row, and he gets an offensive rebound put back late in the game, and they doubled Armando. He's able to hit that 3. Actually, his next possession after the rebound. But just a great guy staying locked in during those fouls. But even more than that, he guards well. He rebounds. He did a great job blocking out early on, grabbing some rebounds. I think I've seen him jump higher on rebounds tonight than I think I've ever seen him. But just doing a great job of, adding so much to our team and trying to make every possession better.
Carolina out-rebounded on the whole 41-34, but again, the numbers that matter. The Tar Heels beat the Sooners 81-69. Cormac Ryan, he showed up on the glass with a season-high 7. The day that he puts it all together shooting the basketball is going to be the day where Carolina turns a huge corner. He still finishes with 13 points, but as the season wears on, is there a guy that you think that can make more of an impact for this team to operate at a consistently excellent level than Cormac Ryan?
I don't think so. I think he's starting to settle into the shots he's going to get to. Early on, obviously still 1 for 5, so not great, but still he's starting to see the shots he's getting out of our offense. Coming from Notre Dame, he was one of their main options there, whereas RJ and Armando are our main options here. So hopefully he can just continue to find those shots get comfortable with the shots he's going to get, which were a little different than Notre Dame. And so I think he's doing a great job. All the shooters believe the next game they're going to make them all, and I think he's definitely in that category. So he just needs to keep chipping away. He shoots the ball great during warm-ups, practices, everything. He's just got to put it together during the games.
81-69, Carolina rolls past Oklahoma. Z, we'd be remiss if we didn't comment on what Carolina did defensively, forcing OU into 18 turnovers. The Sooners commit 20 fouls. And one of the best shooting teams that the Tar Heels have come across only shoots 40%, and maybe the biggest indicator of the poor shooting, just 6 assists on 23 field goals. How did the Tar Heels get it done defensively tonight?
Yeah, I think we were phenomenal in the pick and roll. Hubert said it before the game, or Coach Davis said it before the game, of keeping them out of the lane. We did a great job with that. Armando did a great job. He was in a drop pick and roll, being able to not let him get downhill. And then we struggled a little bit on the rebounding, but part of that was he was doing a great job in the pick and roll, was up the floor in that, and then was just struggling to get back to it a little bit. So we got to do a little better on that. But our defensive pressure, when guys drove, other guards were swiping at the ball. They were doing a great job just making it hard on them. They were never comfortable. They obviously hit some threes to keep them in the game, but I think our defense was phenomenal tonight.
For 25 years, Top of the Hill Restaurant and Brewery has been a pre- and post-game tradition. Handcrafted beer, great food, and atmosphere where Tar Heels come to celebrate. The Tar Heels will celebrate through the Christmas break. 81-69 winners tonight over Oklahoma. Hope to catch up with Jones and Coach Davis in the Continental Tire Coach's Corner upon our return. It's Carolina basketball from Learfield.
This is Carolina basketball. Our post-game coverage continues with the Carolina Ford Dealers Wrap-Up Show. Ford F-150, what legends are made of. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. This is the Carolina Ford Dealers Wrap-Up Show.
Final score from Charlotte, Carolina 81, Oklahoma 69. This is the Coca-Cola post-game report, and it is now time to go inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Here's Jones with Coach Davis.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, alongside the head coach of Carolina basketball, Hubert Davis, we're inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Coach, just felt like an important game for your team and a game that your team really responded. Your thoughts after a really hard-fought win tonight against a good Oklahoma team?
Well, it was an important game for us because it was this game, and it was an important game for us because we've lost the last 2 games, and we wanted to get back on track, and we knew it would be a tough fight. Oklahoma's a really good basketball team, and they're worthy of their record and where they are. They're so sound defensively. They can score in many different ways on the offensive end. We had to be disciplined, and we had to make the right plays on both ends of the floor. I thought defensively we did a really good job defending their actions. I thought we did a good job, particularly in the second half, rebounding the basketball. And guys just stepped up and made plays on the offensive end. I can just name everybody that went into the game, made a winning play on both ends of the floor, and came away with a really good win.
Coach, I think it was 18 turnovers that Oklahoma finished with. What did you like about your defense that was forcing them into some miscues?
Well, one of the things that Oklahoma wants is they want points in the paint, and they're really good at it. They can get it through post penetration, offensive rebounding, and so that was an emphasis for us the last couple days, is just to defend the paint, and we were able to get some steals and deflections, allow us to get into the open court, and that really helped us on the offensive end.
I was going to say, felt like your team was really good in the open floor tonight, both sometimes scoring and then sometimes making the decision to pull out and get into your stuff.
We really were. I thought in the first half we made some mistakes. We fouled some shooters and made some mistakes on the defensive end, but in the second half we were tight, and I just thought we did a really good job of getting out in transition and making good plays. And it's pretty nice when you have a guy named R.J. Davis on your team.
I think it's 184 points now for R.J. Davis over the last 7 games, most since a Tyler Hansbrough streak in Tyler's Player of the Year season. Coach, this has been a hard stretch of games. You've played first time in Carolina basketball history that Carolina's played 5 ranked teams in the stretch of 6 games. You're 8-3 through 11 games in total. You have a little bit of a break here, and I know it's right after the game, but just your thoughts on where your team is heading into this holiday break.
Well, I like where our team is. It wasn't just ranked opponents, it was away from home. I mean, we were in the Bahamas, New York, Atlanta, here in Charlotte, and alongside final exams. And so there was a lot going on, and I just felt like our guys responded really well and came away with a win before Christmas break. And it's just great seeing them smile and laugh and be happy in the locker room. Is exactly the way I wanted to see before we went off into the Christmas break.
Coach, congratulations. I know this was a big one for you. Congratulations, and look forward to talking with you soon.
Thanks a lot, Jones. I appreciate it.
Back here in Charlotte, Carolina wins at 81-69 over Oklahoma. And it's a quality win there for the Tar Heels for a lot of reasons. One, they beat a good team, a team that had not lost all year. That's the fewest amount of points that Oklahoma has scored in any game this season. And Tar Heels never trailed. They led for 37 minutes and 9 seconds of this game. It was tied for the first 2+ minutes when neither team could get much going offensively, but once the Heels took the lead, that was it. They led the entire game, led by as many as 15. Did a good job, cut it down to 5 with a push there between, I'll say, the 8 and 3 minute mark of the second half, which you would expect a good team to do. But then R.J. Davis, like he has done so many times, hits the biggest basket of the game, hit a three-pointer to put the lead back to 8, and then Carolina was able to play keep away really from that point moving forward. Z, I think, though, and I'm Jones Angel with Tyler Zeller here in Charlotte. We'll wrap things up as far as our stuff here in just a moment. Dave Nathan will keep going through the Coke postgame report and the Carolina Ford Dealers wrap-up show. That will include a conversation Adam Lucas had with Cormac Ryan just a moment ago. Adam recorded that with Cormac in the back. You'll hear that in a moment. Z, it did feel like it was the Tar Heel defense that led to this win. You know, Oklahoma ends up shooting 40%. They shot 30% from three. They were able to go on that run in the second half where they did hit a bunch of buckets in a row. But Carolina, 10 steals, 6 blocks, 18 forced turnovers in total. That allowed them to get out and run some. It just felt like that was the biggest deal in this game.
I agree. I think our offense was definitely fueled by our defense. They did a great job just pressuring everything. Never really felt like Oklahoma got comfortable. They couldn't. They made some. Obviously, they had that little barrage. They made 5-6 shots in a row, but none of those shots were easy. They had a step back, a 3 over a hand, and really just a good job. We relaxed a little too much, but really good job of stepping back up and making everything difficult on them. And really just, I think if we continue to build on that, we got a chance to be really, really good this year.
Those defensive stats and that defensive performance are iTicket.law defensive highlight of the game. If you find yourself in need of legal defense for a traffic violation, iTicket.law can be hired to defend you 24 hours a day. It was born in Chapel Hill with traffic attorneys statewide. Visit iTicket.law to learn more. And Z, I know I think you and Dave have spoken a little bit already, but we've got our best in the game brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Hard to go anywhere else than R.J. Davis again. He just continues to be Carolina's most effective player. It was clear when the Tar Heels needed a big play offensively, they did something for R.J., and he played well. Finishes with not just the 23 points, but 5 of 9 from 3, 4 of 4 at the free throw line, 5 assists, no turnovers. He had 3 steals as well. Just another big-time performance from him.
Absolutely, and I think those stats don't even show everything he did because he came out so quickly in the first half and second half. Oklahoma adjusted, a good adjustment by them, but after that they're doubling the pick and roll. He can throw out. We're playing 4-on-3 behind it, so he doesn't even get credit for any of those kind of things. But really, I think Oklahoma's defense was definitely trying to shut him down, and he did a great job taking the opportunities he had and passing off when he didn't.
So, see, Carolina 8-3 through 11 games. They have one more game to go before conference play starts, and after that game against Charleston Southern on December 29th, it is nothing but ACC games the rest of the way. This has always kind of been the marker. It was always Bahamas to Oklahoma, and then this 8-game stretch, the Tar Heels come out of that 8-game stretch. They go 5-3 in those 8 games to be 8-3 overall. I think if you could do it again, if you're Carolina, maybe get a stop or two against Villanova that you couldn't quite get. There were certainly some opportunities there against Kentucky that Carolina couldn't quite close out, but against a really difficult schedule, not perfect, and you like more, but I think you've seen enough to make you encouraged as you get into conference play here soon.
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest thing for me is the progress we've had from the beginning of this stretch to the end of this stretch. I think, Kentucky, we were right there the whole game. We just couldn't get over the hump. Tonight, same thing. We were able to get ahead and then just kind of hold them there. And so just if we continue that progress, I think our defense is starting to get to a higher level. And I think just offensively, RJ playing at such a high level is creating a lot of problems for teams.
Davis finished with 23. There were 3 other Tar Heels in double figures. Baycott was 14 points, 8 rebounds, just 4 of 9 from the field. He was 5 of 7 from the free throw line, including 2 big ones and a 1-and-1 when Oklahoma had started to whittle down Carolina's advantage some. Baycott coming out of a timeout, hit 2 big free throws. Cormac Ryan had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 11 points for Ingram. Ingram had a couple of big shots in the second half. So even with some foul trouble, Ingram finished with 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 assists, a block. So another stat-stuffing kind of performance from Harrison Ingram tonight. So Carolina wins it 81-69 over Oklahoma. Couple of reminders. Our next broadcast is actually football. We'll be back here in Charlotte a week from today. Duke's Mayo Bowl, Carolina and West Virginia. That is a 5:30 kick in Bank of America Stadium. We'll be on the air at 4:30 for that one. Brian Simmons, Lee Pace, and I will be, along with our whole crew, of course. Matt Krause will be there with stats. Ben Alexander, our chief network engineer. We'll be back here a week from now for the bowl game. Then Carolina basketball is back against Charleston Southern on December 29th. That is a 7 o'clock tip. We'll be on the air at 6 p.m. for that one in the Smith Center. So next broadcast is football on the 27th, then basketball that Friday night on the 29th. We don't have a coaches show for a while. The next 2 Mondays are Christmas Day and New Year's Day, so no shows on those 2 days. We'll be back the week after that, so January 8th, I believe, is our next Hubert Davis Live, and then we'll be with Coach Davis every week through the rest of the season. Also, we canceled our show this past Monday due to the news about Eric. So we'll be a while that we won't have a show, but we'll be back with you on January 8th. Z, anything else from you before we get out of here, at least from the Charlotte side of things? Dave still has plenty to do, including that Cormac Ryan interview coming soon here on the postgame.
No, I think very encouraged about where we're headed. I think we get a nice little break for Christmas here. Happy holidays to everybody out there, and hopefully we can enjoy it, be with family, and then we can come back and watch our Tar Heels in football and basketball. Basketball continue to grow this season and continue to get better, and football be able to finish strong.
And look, I mean, if you're with us in the pregame, you know that Z does Christmas break better than anybody. So when he says that, you know he means it. We appreciate you being here with us tonight. We appreciate you just being sad with us a little bit tonight, too. It was a difficult broadcast for us. We tremendously will miss Eric from now until forever. So thank you so much for being with us from start to finish tonight. We look forward to being back with you coming up in football on the 27th and then basketball on the 29th. And, again, our sincerest thoughts and condolences go out to Eric's wonderful family, his wife Laura, his son Andrew, his daughter Sarah, and the rest of his family's mom and dad, and everybody else. They know that they are on our minds constantly right now.
Carolina beats Oklahoma 81-69, and in doing so, the Tar Heels made hay again at the free throw line, connecting on 20 of 26 at the charity stripe, which means another 2,000 meals were donated to a local area food bank through Food Lion Feeds' Score to Give More program. Cormac Ryan was 4 of 5 at the stripe, and he had a chance to talk shop with Adam Lucas.
Alongside Cormac Ryan after Carolina beats Oklahoma here in Charlotte at the Jumpman Invitational. Cormac, really good defense today, a lot of blocks, a lot of steals. What was the key to the defensive effort tonight?
I think just our energy. I think our energy on the defensive end was a big improvement. We were active in the gaps. We were helping each other in rotations, and that fueled us. We feed off that energy, and I think it frustrated them at times, taking them out of their stuff. So I think that was good for us.
The energy, you were a big part of that energy, both defensively and offensively. When it gets rolling like that, how does that help a team when it just feels like the momentum's rolling downhill?
I mean, it's a big part of the game is playing with that edge and that attitude, and especially I think when we're guarding and defending, it really sets the tone for how we play on offense. It helps our pace, not only just getting the ball, getting out in transition, but it gets us fired up. Guys get more confident. So bringing that fire, playing with that fire. Obviously, we had a great crowd here tonight. The test is to continue to do that in road environments. When you're up, down, like bringing that consistency. And I think we're capable of doing it.
You mentioned the pace. I think it ended up being 22 or 23 fast break points. It felt like even more than that. It felt like Carolina was really running well tonight. What was the key to play in transition offense?
I think it goes back to getting stops. It's easier to run when the ball doesn't go through the basket. We were forcing turnovers. We were getting some deflection steals, missed shots, and then we were rebounding the ball and running. And I think that helps us get out in transition. So continue to guard, and that'll help us.
Feels like there have been some important wins here in the toughest part of the non-conference schedule. What have you learned about this team through these couple weeks?
We learned that we've got a lot of grit and toughness. We came off of playing two good teams, but really at the end of the day, nobody really cares about how many good losses you have. You got to have wins. And tonight it really mattered to us, and I think it mattered more. And we locked in, and we know we needed to get a win here going into our last non-conference game and then into conference play.
This has been an emotional few days in Chapel Hill. I know you don't have the long background with Carolina, but you've been around Hubert Davis. You've been around a coaching staff that's had a lot going on. What's been the message from them that you guys took from them?
Just, be thankful. Be thankful. And I think that's one thing our group does really well is, being able to put on this uniform is special. Being a part of the Carolina family is special. And, you're reminded of that and how special and how fragile it is, especially when you have somebody like Eric who, is such a beacon in this program. So our prayers go out to him, obviously, and it's a good reminder to everybody that, this is not something that comes around every day. And, one day you have to take the jersey off, and, every coach in that locker room played here, and I'm sure they want the jersey back on, and so that's something Coach Davis has been a great leader on, and is telling us, don't take it for granted, really enjoy each and every moment. And that translates to basketball. Play hard, give it your all, because you're going to look back and wish that you did if you didn't.
It's Cormac Ryan after Carolina beats Oklahoma. Cormac, thank you.
81-69, again the final as we resume things here on the Coca-Cola post-game report. And before we really get back to business and introduce you to our play of the game, we've just hit the stroke of midnight, which means we've got to pause 10 seconds for a station ID on the Tar Heel Sports Network. They say Coke Zero is irresistibly tasty. Does that make it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. Coca-Cola play of the game in a game like this, we had a lot of different paths to travel, but when it comes down to naming just one, well, it's this one.
Still 15 on the shot clock as R.J. Davis has it out near the timeline. One-handed push pass. To Bacon. He's going to try a corner. Three! There we go. Bacon, his second three-pointer of the year.
And that will wrap things up for us here tonight on the Coca-Cola post-game report. For an evening that, goodness, was tough to start, we have almost hit the finish line. As we enter the Christmas season, please again say a prayer for the Montross family and think about a life well lived over the course of 52 wonderful years. That'll wrap things up for us, as always, produced by Tar Heel Sports Properties, a property of Learfield. Our general manager, Chuck Schrader, network manager, Phil Brame, network coordinator, Paul Roper. Our thanks to chief network engineer, Ben Alexander. John Essick has pushed all the right buttons back in the studio, and Jody Zogner chipped in with some statistics. For Jones Angel, Tyler Zeller, Adam Lucas, and the rest of our crew, my name is Dave Nathan, reminding you that our next broadcast begins with the Reed's Jewelers pregame show on December the 27th at 4:30 when the Carolina football team plays in Charlotte against West Virginia. Again, our final score, Carolina 81, Oklahoma 69, and you heard it all right here on the Tar Heel Sports Network.
Carolina Basketball has been brought to you by Wells Fargo, official retail bank sponsor of Carolina Athletics. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Tar Heel Sports Network.